With the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You a runner, motherfucker, high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker, never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga, woof. I'm a 88 pack nigga, woof. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
What's good, y'all? Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty Ldbc. I see the family in the building. But I got a lot I need to get to. You know, I see the family in the building. One love to y'all, respect to y'all. Much love and appreciation to all of y'all. I see y'all. But I got a couple of chips on my shoulder. So let's just get to it, man. Stormy, what's good, brother? How you feel?
Hey, man, salute to you. Good to be here this evening. And salute to everybody, the fam out there in the chat, man. Happy Father's Day to the fathers out there, and peace be with the fathers that are no longer with us.
No doubt. Happy Father's Day to everybody. Happy Grandpappy's Day. Happy Pappy's Day. Salute to Taylor Bell and that super chat. Myself and appreciation. All right. I should have named this show "We Do It to Ourselves." Some of y'all not going to like this. I don't care. I don't care. But the thing that I want to address first is the term defamation. Defamation. Do y'all know what the term defamation means? You can Google it. I went on Google and I pulled it up. All right. And I feel it's important that we understand what this is. All right. We need to understand what this is. Because there's a lot of sidestepping and shucking and jiving going on. And it doesn't come from a place of knowledge. It comes from a place of ignorance. All right. And if you're not sure about something, you really need to remain silent. If you're not sure about something. Now, I'm going to put some information out here, and I want the family to connect the dots. All right. Because I've been sick of this. I've been sick of this. Because right now, it's out of control. Everybody's out of control. And just follow me on this. Just follow me on this. All right. Let's read. Because I know a lot of people have issues. All right. Defamation law, guide to libel and slander law. Defamation law falls under tort law. It refers to false statements about a person communicated as fact to one or more other persons by an individual or entity, such as a person, newspaper, magazine, or political organization, which causes damage, and does one harm, and does harm to target's reputation and or standing in the community. Defamation is addressed primarily by state legislation. However, constitutional law may also apply, as the right of freedom of speech also extends to certain defamation claims. Defamation is categorized as either slander or libel. The general harm caused by defamation is identified as being ridiculed, shamed, hated, scorned, belittled, or held in contempt by others, and lowers him or her in esteem of reasonably prudent person due to the communication of the false statement. Now, let me stop right there. Let me explain to you what I just read. Basically, if somebody talks crap about you and it's costing you money and it's damaging your reputation, they can sue you. And depending on who you are, it could be financially beneficial to you. Let me read further for the children in the back. Okay. Did I read this already? This tort can result in a lawsuit for damages. Many states have statutes requiring that the oh man, my eyes is messed up. So the damaged party must first demand a printed retraction. Keep that in mind, a printed retraction. All right, certain states have statutes that you can first demand a printed retraction of the defamatory statement before they may proceed to court. If the plaintiff proceeds with a lawsuit without seeking the retraction, or if he or she receives a retraction but proceeds anyway, most states will limit the damages they may pursue to the actual or special damages they experience, such as loss of employment or wages. Are y'all getting this? Are y'all getting this? That's defamation. Go to whatever site I pulled. Google it, man. Google it, man. Defamation. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, there's a certain fighter that threatened to sue another fighter for defamation. And his ass said, if I'm like everybody else, I would sue him for $100 million. But I'm not like everybody else. You know what, Tyson Fury? You're not. You're not. Let me remove this. You're not like everybody else, Tyson Fury. Not everybody could be 6'9". Not everybody takes drugs. Not everybody is a drug cheat. Not everybody snorts coke, the drug taking, the PED taking. Not everybody's a glove cheat. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. A lot of fighters that I've seen, when they got a title, they defended it at least once. You have to be forced to get in the ring with a man that you dominated, right? So you're damn right. You're not like everybody else. Not every grown man runs around in a goddamn Batman costume. Huh? I'm going to stop right there for a second. Everything I just said is the truth. I did not lie. I'm not in the business of lying. I'll read an article, and based off of what the article says, I'll give you my opinion, which is fine. But the article stands. How you interpret it is entirely up to you. But I don't go bizarre. A lot of you cats are whacked out of your skull. And I know this to be fact. You see, you got to be careful. I mentioned check the fruit on the tree not too long ago. A lot of the people you're following, there's a lot about them you don't know. But that's for you to do research on. Let me continue. I'm talking about Tyson Fury, the piece of garbage he is. Okay. When I say check the fruit on a tree, when you're in court, the people, the judge, the jury, they have to factor in what kind of person is on the stand. When you're being called defendant for whatever you're in court for, smash my like button. When you're being called defendant, they have to factor in what kind of person you are. So they do a little research on you. And it's the plaintiff's job to let them know. Everything I just told you about Tyson Fury is 100%. How some people follow him, I don't know. Y'all got to live with that. But allow me to prove my case. Dumbasses. Tyson Fury signs with Top Rank. In the midst of negotiations for the rematch with Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury has thrown a wrench into the works by signing a multi-year deal with Top Rank. Fury, currently promoted by Frank Warren, has signed a co-promotional deal with Bob Arum-owned company, moving all his future fights to ESPN. If I didn't want to fight him, I wouldn't have taken it in the first place, Fury told BT Sports of the rematch of his 2018 draw with WBC heavyweight world champion Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. As far as I'm concerned, the fight is more makeable now than ever because we have the biggest boys in the game behind him. Now, I just read that to you. He signed a multi-fight deal. Y'all know the 2 fights he had in between. So what happened to the immediate rematch? So if he signed a multi-fight deal, right? What was the problem with Deontay Wilder saying, okay, well, I want to go explore my options with the winner between AJ and Ruiz. Ruiz beats AJ. He wants to go for undisputed. What did Eddie Hearn do? Eddie Hearn said, not so fast, you have a contractual agreement. You're not fighting until AJ gets his rematch. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. They had a contractual agreement. Y'all said nothing. Y'all wasn't asking for undisputed. Y'all wasn't so high on undisputed. Y'all wasn't thinking about undisputed. Y'all wanted AJ to get his rematch with Ruiz. That's what you wanted. Deontay said, yo, man, undisputed? Y'all said, nah, AJ rematch. That's what you said. But they had a contractual agreement. I said, look, I want undisputed right now. But you know what? Contract. I didn't fuss. I didn't say anything. I didn't do no videos about it. I didn't say anything. You know why? What does Drew always tell you? Documentation beats conversation. I could not like it all I want. Documentation beats conversation. But let's move on. Tyson Fury insists Deontay Wilder cannot back out of their rematch next February and claims that a contract has already been signed. Last week, Wilder claimed that Fury does not want to fight him against and revealed his plan to face the winner of Anthony Joshua's rematch against Andy Ruiz next year. But Fury is adamant that a deal is in place to fight Wilder for a second time, February 22nd, and has threatened to take legal action against the Bronze Bomber if he takes another bout. Family. Am I in the Twilight Zone? What the fuck is he talking about? It was supposed to be an immediate rematch. What did he do? He ran off with Bob Arum. All Wilder said was like, hey, man, I guess he don't want to fight, so I'm going to explore my options. Why is he even saying this? So it's okay for him to go make his money in between, but Deontay's supposed to wait on him? Again, these are facts. I'm showing you. This is the guy you're believing? I'll take it a step further. For the kids with the helmets on in the back. Had I decided to sue Wilder, I would have lost. He would have Wilder. If I had decided to sue, Wilder would have lost $100 million for defamation, claims Tyson Fury. It's not surprising that Deontay Wilder's recent claims have not gone down well with Tyson Fury. The Gypsy King reacted to Wilder's statements about him and let it be known that he will never fight Wilder again. Y'all remember that? I'll never fight Wilder again. Do y'all remember when he said that? Last I checked, which is not in this article, by the way, he said he offended my family. He offended the Shaolin Temple. Shout out to Bruce Lee and Enter the Dragon. Classic line.
Yes, sir.
Yep. And he started talking about his family. Word on the street is he was literally in court crying real tears. All right. Remember who I talked to? Remember who I talked to? Remember who I talked to? This 6'9" Pillsbury Doe / Michelin man, overgrown powder face looking cork snorting dude was in tears in court talking about he offended my family. And then he says, yeah, he's talking about I cheated. Now let's connect some dots. I just read to you what defamation is. This man said he could have sued for $100 million. What makes you think he didn't want to sue? If he could sue and be successful and get $100 million just off of something that Deontay Wilder said, first of all, he'd have to prove damages, correct? He can't prove any damages. Why? Did he lose any money? Have we damaged his career in any way, shape, or form? What Deontay Wilder said, did it hurt him financially? You know how it didn't hurt him financially? Because he couldn't do nothing else. He didn't have another opponent, and then the opponent said, "No, I'm not fighting you. I heard you cheat." Oh, man, I'm out $5 million. That's Deontay Wilder's fault. You know why that didn't happen? Because he had a contractual obligation, dummies. Stupid asses. He had a contractual obligation. So he was not defamed in any way, shape, or form. But he was in court, you know, paying lawyers millions of dollars to handle something that he could no longer talk about. Why do you think he couldn't talk about it? He didn't sue Deontay Wilder for defamation. He didn't have that option. He couldn't. You know why? Did y'all recall when Tay Jones said there were things that came up in the arbitration that led the arbitrator to rule in Deontay's favor? Other things? Connect the dots. La, la, la. I want to sue this guy. I'm a defamation of character. He defamed me. He defamed me. Prove it. He said I cheat. Can you prove that you didn't cheat? Because according to what I'm looking at, and that documentation has something else, that has something to do with something else that you're going to have to deal with down the road. So you can't prove it? Let that fly. Let that fly. And then he gets on here and says, I could have. No, you couldn't. Because I believe if you could, you would have. If you could, you would have. This man is a liar. This man is a proven liar. And y'all let it slide. Listen, I got truth on my side. If you want to bend and twist what you read, that's up to you. I don't have to lie to you. I ain't got to lie to you. Let me read a little further. Earlier, the Bronze Bomber had claimed that Fury cheated in both bouts by tampering with his gloves. He claimed that the latter added egg weights and scratched the flesh out his ears, which led to excessive bleeding during the rematch back in February of this year. Tyson Fury did not react immediately to the wild accusations. Recently, breaking his silence, Fury stated that he won't sue Wilder. However, there's no chance that a trilogy bout is ever going to take place. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? He said, remember when Bob Arum was went around saying the trilogy's out the door? It's not happening. Remember that? Again, there's a few things I leave you with, and I say it. I'm a person of repetition. Documentation beats conversation. The same reason why Andy Ruiz couldn't fight Deontay Wilder for undisputed because he was contractually binded to fight AJ in a rematch is the same reason why Tyson Fury couldn't do anything else. He wasn't defamed in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, you cheated me. Prove it. Well, prove that I'm lying. Because the arbitrator saw something that said, look, you got to deal with this somewhere else, but what I'm looking at here, you sure you won't go that route? And this man jumped on here and lied to you again in the article. I could have. Why didn't you? But then you leave it to somebody else. The same people that will say that his word is gold are the same people that say, oh, well, Fury didn't want to fight Wilder because he beat him so bad in the second fight. And I say to them, yo, you know he's in the red with Bob Arum? Do you know he's in the red? Bob Arum is thinking about his pockets 100% of the time. And he knows that 2 fights with AJ would at least break him even. At least. Hold on. Hold on. Stormy, cook on that for a second. I'm sorry. Well, before I do that, shout out to James Hainsworth. Cook 'em, Drew. They forgot about Lennox rematch controversy, but race don't matter, right? Charlo. Exactly. Cook on that.
Well, I don't know how much better cooking I can do than what you just did, but what I have to offer on it is this, man. The fact that this guy has been allowed to come over here and become a public figurehead in the sport, it amazes me because his background, when you check his background out, is sorted. You know, it's like he is, I mean, about as lousy as you can get as far as being on the level, being a stand-up individual, all the things that you would want to utilize if it's someone that you're going to market. And I kind of spoke on that the other day when I did the Friday night chop session, when I said they even allowed this guy under one of Bob Arum's promotion to enter the ring wearing the red, white, and blue. And under the auspices of what that is really supposed to mean, because you remember there was one time that the laws were extremely strict when it comes down to wearing the flag as apparel. But it was allowed to take place when they did things like they made the Rocky films, and Apollo Creed wore the red, white, and blue, but he was the villain in the film. And when Rocky defeated him, they let Rocky wear the red, white, and blue because he was now the hero. You see how they put the twist on things. And he fought Clubber Lang, who was the best opponent he ever saw in his life. And then he fought Ivan Drago, but he wore the red, white, and blue. Now, Rocky, according to how it was scripted in his films, was representing the blue-collar guy. You know, it was explained in the first film why Apollo Creed picked him as an opponent. What's more American than this situation on a bicentennial and so forth and so on? You have to know the Rocky films to understand what I'm saying at this very moment. But please tell me, someone out there, where, in what vein was Fury representative of anything Americana, except for the fact of exploiting and lying, which this country has done better than anyone. And they continue to do so. So if you bought into this and you understand the representation, he is the perfect figurehead. But it's more of why you shouldn't be buying into the BS. because it's right there. Do you see how they put the twist on things, and then they have people follow behind this? It's another false narrative. As Drew was speaking earlier and was talking about him being such a cheat and being a drug abuser and being a PED user and all of these other things, which someone wants to, where he wants to come out and say, oh, it's defamation. Dude, this is you. That's your blood. If we cut you open, all of that stuff runs out of your veins. Okay? But I thought of a new nickname for him. It's real simple. They had a film by the same title, Powder. Perfect. Powder. What happens when you come in contact with powder? When powder is flung in the air, when powder is smacked, when powder is stepped upon or whatever, it permeates. It goes up into your nostrils, it gets into your eyes, it becomes an irritant. Makes you sneeze, makes you cough, puts you in a state of discomfort. Now you tell me, is that not who Tyson Fury is? Both figuratively and literally. Think about it. He's an irritant, and he's been placed before you as someone that you should have as a figurehead of representing in the sport. But he is as anti what has he done? He has signed treaties, contracts. He has broken them. Call for war. He has invaded. Remember the singing of Bye Bye American Pie? What was that? Remember his little soundbite that he dropped on Israel and everything? I'm telling you.
Remember that? Remember that?
The guy stirs the pot like no other. There should be no support for this. There should be an alliance toward seeing this being ousted, being put away, being put to task. And this has become far more personal than anything that you all believe, because, again, I have given you, Drew has just given you all of these ground-breaking information, readily available, stuff you can pull up. And it's true. It's all true. We haven't lied to you yet. Salute to Tay out there. What's going on with you, Tay?
What's up with you, man?
Yo, before we go forward, salute to Mr. Mechanical in that super chat. He says, keep the grill on 500, big homie. I'm on a job. And before we go any further, I just got a text from the brother Batman. He's in the hospital with his baby mama since 3 this morning. She's having a complicated pregnancy.
Oh,
so I told him to keep us posted. Prayers up to and salute to Batman. You know what I'm saying? I hope everything's all right. But I'll be in touch. I'll keep y'all posted.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. What's good with it, Tay?
What's going on with it, man?
Y'all, I'm beside myself, man. And I, so close to the fight.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't deal with the UK fan base and the detractors. But what annoys me more are the turncoats right here on this soil. There's nothing worse than that. And I get it from across the pond. I get it. But over here, you can't make me understand it, man. You can't make me understand it, man. I'm just like livid behind it, man. What you got on that, brother?
Man, I don't even pay that shit no mind. I don't pay no mind, man. It is what it is. They gonna say how they feel and do what they want to do anyway, and think they can, maneuver around whatever these say, I say, or whatever the case may be. So, that's something they got to live with. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, man? You know what's brilliant about this whole thing? I don't have to candy coat or make up anything. Everything that I say about this guy, you could go look it up.
Oh, yeah.
Salute to my brother, World Combat Sports in the building, man. What's good, brother?
What's good, fellas? How you doing, Drew? Stormy?
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Yes.
what's good?
What's going on?
What's going on, World Combat?
I see you cooking up again, on this parasite.
Let's go, baby. The floor is yours.
Well, as Tate was talking with me, I was already listening to you anyway. You know what I'm saying? You was making some valid points as always. And a lot of people forget about the history on how everything lined up the first time, with the flat fees and everything. That was pretty much the beginning of it all. When Deontay Wilder had his belt, they didn't want to fight him to begin with. And I did a live long time ago, and I said when Deontay finally go in here and fight Tyson Fury for that WBC belt, his team is going to have to be sure that every perimeter is solid and secure, because boxing is going to sabotage that team some way, somehow. And you know what? The rematch ended up being, what it was. They end up sabotaging everything.
That's exactly what they did. Now,
but not only that, Drew, let me just add this to what World Combat Sports just said. Not only did they do that, but they made certain that anyone involved in the sport, media-wise, and the personalities, former fighters who have become color analysts and people in positions to have a voice, made certain that they at no point acknowledged anything nefarious, anything questionable. They went about their day and work as if it were not evident. And what's the old saying? You gonna believe me or your lying eyes? You understand? And that's what they managed to do. That's what they're still doing. And it came to a head when the press conference took place last week, because they had the gall to sit up there and say, oh, well, Deontay doesn't want to speak. You've done all the talking for him, because even when he did have something to say, you put a twist or a spin on it, or you actually muted him, okay? And you turned it into and I hate to use this word because so many people throw it around, but they turned it into a narrative. And the narrative is, oh, he's a sore loser. I can't believe the number of professional people and past former fighters who have not tried to say the right thing because they have network attachments and affiliations and whatnot. But when you've gone to certain individuals who don't have the light shining on them, who don't have that celebrity status, they have spoken honestly. Like Prince Charles Martin.
Yes.
Remember, he was one of the first people, to say, hey, I ain't never seen nothing like this. Where'd this come from? And you want to take someone who does have the celebrity and the history. Evander Holyfield has come out and said, hey, I've watched this man. I've never seen him look like this. Something was wrong.
He said that.
Yep.
You see? And so when you have that coming to a forefront, notice those type of sound bites don't make it to the big networks and everything, right? The ESPNs and the zones and all of that, where they talking boxing every day, supposedly. Max Kellerman and all of those fools. They don't make it out there, because what happens is if you speak on that and you draw people's attention to it, then more people will be able to see for themselves. Remember, a lot of what we do is coming from a different source. It's coming from a new angle.
Yep.
And the more that we do it in an earnest manner with truth, the more people will buy into it, and then the other way of doing things in the past is going to shrink and go away. But it's going to be a process. And I'll tell you something. It's not going to be just a process. It's going to be a war. There's going to be some stuff going on here. They're going to go after people, and we're going to have to go after them.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? This is real. That's why I said, when I talked about it on my Friday night show, I said, this is bigger than boxing. This is so much. And I was able to tie in the closeness that our champion Wilder has channeled Ali in character. Remember, Ali wasn't a loved man when he was in his prime. They tried to take his prime away from him. They tried to send him off to Vietnam. They were hoping to kill him over there. They didn't want him to be the heavyweight champion of the world. And people say, oh, you're trying to say Deontay fights like Ali and this. No, Deontay is one of the first people I've been able to see and say that he channels the character of the champ, the former champ, Ali. Many people try to emulate his movement in the ring. They try to emulate his vociferousness and being vocal and all of that. But no one has tried to emulate the character. And I'm not saying Deontay is emulating. He's channeling it because he's his own man. But he comes to, and he has brought something to the forefront that is very familiar. It's like waking the souls of the dead, the sleeping, the conscious. And that's what they don't like, because he's real like that. That man can walk down the street just like Ali did, and a crowd will start forming around him. He don't need no bodyguards and all these people like that, because he's real. When you real like that, you connect to the people. And it's like a vine, okay, that extends out branches. How many people have you seen like that over the years in boxing? Not a lot.
No.
Not a lot. And he brings that. And they don't want that. Because remember, toward black folks was, we have to suppress the coming of a black messiah. They know. They know. That's why tremendous leaders have always been brought down.
Yep.
And Don King spoke it. He says their heroes live infinitely. Our heroes die or are murdered. Why is that?
Facts. Tay, you got a question in there. Before I go to that question, well, I don't want to butcher this person's name. It says, Tay Jones, why did Wilder keep JDs? I'm on Wilder's side, by the way. Okay. Well, before he answers that, let's get to the super chat. He said, Drew, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't watch the Charlo fight after hearing that real champ side, and you've been spitting. Race don't matter. Pluck Charlo. No doubt, fam. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, salute to Ahmed is Ahmed in that super chat. He said, oh, super sticker. No doubt, family. You want to address that?
Yeah, my response to that is, I think Deontay just did a couple of interviews here previously. And I think he addressed that in a couple of those interviews. So you might want to go take a listen to those interviews.
All right, there it is. There it is. Well, I'm gonna go to Scotty, brother. What you got on that, brother?
Just as I want to know, when it comes down to the divide, right? We know a lot of black athletes in boxing, and we also have heard others speak on Deontay Wilder in a negative way after this fight. All they say is they got this standard word, excuses, right? They wasn't in there that night. They wasn't sitting ringside like Tay Jones and his team. They didn't hear Darrell up there screaming. They didn't see Mark Breland throwing the towel. They really didn't have no clarity as to how confusing that night was. But I think a lot of people are taking sides and in their own congregated way in social media, vice in person, because I never seen Deontay Wilder, even when they was talking about fire his own team, I never seen Deontay Wilder disrespected in person. And I was around Tay and them several times on regional cards to the MGM Grand. I never seen him disrespected in person, but it's this wave that took place on social media. People started just dogging him out and saying that, you know, he wasn't close to Ali, regardless of what his accomplishments was. You know, he's still this fragmented boxer just because his technique was different and he was blessed with innate power. So I'm looking at it right now, and I heard somebody tell me, they said, well, check this out. If Deontay Wilder would have felt there's a problem, he would have asked for an investigation immediately. And I'm saying he didn't fucking know what was wrong with him. He had no idea. He just felt different. The man took off the helmet or the mask, and he just felt all bad. So anybody looking at that fight to really fuck with Deontay and know that's not the same one who's been fighting those 41 other bouts that he had and knocked out his opponent. They would have known that's not the same fighter. His energy level was low, and everything about him was off. Yeah. But yet he still went in there and fought for his life. And, you know, we know it's difficult for an investigation to take place. We know Mauricio Suleiman wouldn't even give a damn about investigating that shit, man, because they're trying to make hundreds of millions over there with Fury and Joshua. So they had to sabotage this whole fight. Somehow, some way, the water was tainted. You know, Deontay never wavered from his accusation against Mark Breland. People don't give him credit for that. And everybody who support Deontay Wilder heavy, they have cliche names for us. Hey, facts is facts, man. July 24th, I truly believe it's going to be a two-time. It's going to happen, and he's going to shake up boxing because it's going to force Anthony Joshua either come out the shadows with his belts or come out that motherfucker butt naked.
That's on God. Salute to DOG in that super chat. He said, I had to tell UK folk Wilder is our Ali, and if you ain't live in America, you wouldn't understand. So stay out of it. Real talk. And salute to Iron Eagle. He said, great work, brothers. Salute to you, fam. Speaking of turncoats and Mark Breland, you know Mark Breland? Mark Breland, the guy that everyone was so pissed off with. How could he be with Deontay for 10 plus years and he can't train him how to throw a proper punch? Or remember that Mark Breland? That when Deontay Wilder finally gets rid of him, now it's justice for Mark Breland? That guy that y'all ripped for 10 years? That guy? Tyson Fury has shown respect by Deontay shaking up his camp and adding to it. And now y'all mad? You know that guy that ran over to the UK and said, hey, man, the guy don't run, the guy don't jump rope, the guy don't hit the heavy bag. When he said that, I said, holy crap. I went right to YouTube and I said, I know I saw him jumping rope somewhere. I pulled it right up. I said, there you go. I said, I know I saw him hitting the bag. I pulled it right up. I said, there you go. I said, what the hell is he talking about? What is this guy talking about? And then came back to the States and said, hey, man, I got set up. I didn't know they want to ask about Deontay. Newsflash, Mark. You haven't done anything relevant as a coach in the sport of boxing other than being Deontay's corner while he had 10 title defenses. So by default, your name is next to his going into the Hall of Fame by default. But the whole time, when you went to the UK, you know, the ops to go spit your stuff, you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything relevant in the sport of boxing. But you wanted to go over there. They invited you over there to talk to you about what? Something else? You didn't do anything else? So, of course, they wanted to talk about Deontay. So you go there, you start trash talking, and then you come home and say you got set up. Ain't no one made you say what you said. You just said it. You just said it. Did you tell your son to stop going on these platforms? Your underage son? And this ain't no matters towards him. I don't even know the young man's name, but all that is the little boy sticking up for his dad. That's a little boy sticking up for his dad. I expect him to do that. But that was unclassy of you, Mark. If the business between you and Deontay fell apart, it fell apart. That's for you and him to deal with. Everyone else can assume what they want. You can't be mad at him for getting rid of Mark 1 minute and then the next minute ridiculing him for 10 years because you don't like how Deontay Wilder's throwing a punch. What the hell's with y'all? He was knocking everybody out. What's with y'all? Y'all don't care about the results.
Always walk away.
Yo, listen. They don't care about the results, right? You want to focus on technique. We had 2 decades of Floyd Mayweather, and all I heard about was him running around the ring. And that was a lie. So now we have a decade, well, almost a decade of Deontay Wilder. He's knocking everybody out, and y'all still got a problem. But let's get to this. Salute to Jafar Cesar in that super chat. He says, off topic, but who is the MMA guy in the Ldbc? The MMA guy, that would be a Coach, right? Coach is the MMA guy.
Sheldon Harris, yeah.
Sheldon Harris, yeah. I think Coach, yeah. He's the MMA guy. Double check me. And salute to Pete Davenport back in that super chat. He said, that's correct on what World just said. If somebody hit from behind and knocked me out, even though I can't point out the exact I'm reading this all fucked up. If somebody hit from behind and knocked me out, even though I can't point out the exact, I know something happened. Exactly, man. Listen, let's move on to this. Much love and appreciation to you, fam. Let's move on to this. ESPN commentary. I'm about to flame it, man. Let me tell you something. Andre Ward, I know you said that you ain't asked for our support, but let me be absolutely clear. We supported you not only because you're a black man, but it was the right thing for us to do. Did you hear what I just said? It was the right thing for us to do. When you was active, all we was met with was, he's inactive. He's always injured. He don't fight enough. And when I said, yo, the man won the Super 6, all I was met with, oh, that was such a long time ago. But those same people would say, hey, man, Vasyl Lomachenko is one of the greatest amateurs. And I said, wasn't Vasyl Lomachenko's amateur career like 10 years prior to the Super 6? What are you celebrating?
And they said Ward was boring.
And they said Ward was boring. Hold on, because I got something for y'all. Salute the Boss Red 357. He said, nah, they're giving Inouye all this credit because of knockouts. Wilder has knocked out every opponent he's ever faced. Brother, you can't make any of this crap up. I'm telling you, you can't. You can't make this up. Salute to Janimba. Y'all don't know what that is. I'm a nerd. I know what that is. Salute to Janimba. Tay, how's the champ doing in sparring? Is he looking solid and strong? Hashtag Bomb Squad.
Yes, sir.
I want to show y'all something. ESPN, right? You remember when they put Vasyl Lomachenko's record down and they had him as undefeated? And I said, I know, goddamn, this dude had a loss. Remember that? Well, they're no stranger to that because they take their fighters and it's somehow when they're related to Bob Arum, things happen. Can I ask you a question? Stormy, how many belts does Bud Crawford have?
Right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the WBO title.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
what is this? Who did this? What is this? Who did this? What is this? Who did this?
why do they have him as unified? How does that happen? How does that happen?
It's the same person responsible for taking that one on Lomachenko's record and magically erasing it before they went on the air. And when they showed him, ESPN is the son of a, you know what?
Yo, man, listen, Andre Ward, I'm going to keep it simple. You don't need us, right? Bet. don't come back and fight Canelo. Because if that goes left for you, I ain't talking about it. Watch how many Mayates you get called. Watch. Because all I'm doing is, I ain't even going to say what I'm doing. All right? I just let it be. We not even protected you. We spoke highly of you because it was correct and it was the right thing to do. And all they did was talk sour about you. You were supposed to fight Gennady Golovkin. He ducked you. And popular demand made you go up to 175. You had 3 tough fights because Sullivan Barrera was not a pushover. That was a difficult fight. And you beat him up. You fought Kovalev, got dropped in the first, came back, beat him up. They said, no, you really lost. You went at it again. You beat him up and knocked him out and rode off into the sunset. And they still disrespected you. Why is it that they can disrespect you, but Kovalev is not getting spoken about, and he's a woman beater, a dog beater, pissing on airplanes, on the seat, assaulting stewardesses, DUIs all over the damn place? Y'all don't want no damn smoke. Hi, Charlos. It's not about race, right? And I'm going to get to them in a second. Tim Bradley, you talking milk dud. He look like a Whopper. You know those candies? He look like a Whopper with a mouth. This is ridiculous with y'all. Deontay Wilder has to go above and beyond. The man said he got cheated. You know what? I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to let y'all cook on that, but I'm going to keep it so simple because they said something real key in there, and it was said with malice. Deontay Wilder didn't talk to you. He'd rather talk to some YouTube guys.
And you remember when Andre, Drew, you remember when Andre Ward made mention that he wasn't for sure that Deontay Wilder wanted to return to fight Tyson Fury? Like,
yes!
He was questioning the heart of Deontay Wilder turning. Right then and there, Andre Ward showed whatever was going on with that corporate level. He showed right there. He showed his true colors right there, man.
He damn sure did. And I peeped that and I said, wow. He said, I remember the exact words was, I don't think Deontay's going to want any more of that. Mm-hmm. That's the exact word.
Check this out. On this past, last night's broadcast, he also made a remark where he stated that, glove issue or whatever aside, he's like, you got to have more than that. You got to prove it. Right. Well, have they ever brought anything into the forefront to discuss openly so it can be seen? No, they haven't. And they haven't discussed it. Just like they never mentioned there was an arbitration taking place between these two camps. They totally kept saying other things. They kept saying, like, remember this lie? The contract expired. They said that Deontay wanted step aside. They said that he didn't really want the fight. Then he did want the fight. It was like all of these things, but they never discussed the fact that it was a contractual obligation that he had to seek arbitration because they were trying to go around it. And they never acknowledged that, which again is that narrative that I speak about. Now, for Ward to come out and say something about proving, and Tim Bradley also talking about cheating, and then I know we're going to get into Charlo in a minute, but when Mel Charlo says that sanctioning bodies and commissioners and everything are there to catch things, they ain't never caught a damn thing.
Not
okay?
once.
When Margarito took his gloves off and bricks fell out of him, it wasn't a commission that caught that. When Nazir Muhammad caught what was going on with his hand wraps, the commission didn't catch that. When Luis Resto and that situation took place many, many years ago, where was the commission?
True.
The commission don't catch nothing because they're already paid
for. They're already paid for. And that's where this is going. These guys are already paid for. Y'all think this is a game? Y'all think this is one big conspiracy theory? Fine. Debunk it. I'm giving y'all the map. Remember who I talked to. I'm giving y'all the map. He didn't sue for defamation because he couldn't. He couldn't. You have to prove damages. What damages? Well, he was talking bad about my family. I can't sue you for hurt feelings. Did you lose any money by him talking about your family? Well, no. What else you got? Did you lose money? Was you about to have another fight? You couldn't have, because that's why we're here in arbitration. Because you're trying to get out of this fight. You got to change my mind. Shouting out Israel is not going to do it. Just because I'm Jewish. You got something else? Because I'm looking at this paper from a doctor that says different. I think you need to go ahead and handle this fight because you got something else you're going to have to deal with. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Shout out to Double 9. Salute, Drew. Keep cooking. I want to get 3 years of film study on Wilder to Tay Jones to pass on to Malik, who said he's into film study to add to that fight strategy. How do I get him? How do I get it to him, please? Well, Tay right there. You could ask him right there. Tay's right there. The brother want to get you some. Want to get you some film study. Did some film study.
Tell him to send it to you and send it to me.
All right, hit me up on Instagram. What's your name on Instagram so I know it's you? Send it to me. I send it to Tay. Salute to the brother Artman. Artman Boxing. Let me tell you something. He said, shout out to the Ldbc Bomb Squad. Support the real shop, artmanapparel.com for dope artistic boxing merch. Let me tell you something. Artman is one of our troll combatants. He makes time to do that. He makes time to do that. And he be working their nerves. You know why he works their nerves so bad? He works their nerves so bad because everything he says is backed by facts. Everything he says is backed by facts. Let me scroll back up. I missed some super chats. Salute to Adrian Vet. In that super chat, he said, keep cooking, Drew. Salute to you. Chat in the Ldbc. Salute to you, family. I'm going to take this money and get a new camera. This camera get on my nerves. They salute the boss, Red. He said, they talk about pictures, but don't show them. And you know what's funny? We the only people on here talking about arbitration. Salute to Mr. Mechanical. He said at this point, ESPN is full of puppets. Hashtag facts. Yup. They all are. All these guys are on the take. All these guys are on the take. And it's so hard because you know what they did? They put the black faces in the forefront who are former fighters and the less knowledgeable people who are too lazy to do the research. Remember I said ignorance is a choice? I just pulled up defamation. I'm guaranteeing you, and this is no disrespect to anybody, I'm guaranteeing you there's 300 people in here. Please smash the like button. I'm guaranteeing you there's a handful of people that heard the word but never actually knew what it was. I just read it to you. I say use Google for what it's for. And you got a handful of people. When I say check the fruit on the tree, Tyson Fury could tell you that the moon is purple. Some people don't believe it. But I say check the fruit on the tree. This man is an expert at lying. He says he's the gypsy king. What do gypsies celebrate doing? What do they stand on? Being cheaters. He's lying right in front of you. But because of his white face, he'll get away with it. You funny, fine American gentlemen. You fine American gentlemen are out your cotton picking mind. Cotton picking mind. Cotton picking mind. Cotton picking mind. When y'all talk, my back start hurting. The skin of my back start hurting. That's my ancestors like, oh, Lord, we took all of this for this nigga? Why are you talking? Salute the Slick Tom in that super chat. He said, salute Ldbc. Don't forget the camera cover up and Fury Room before the fight. It's so much foul play. It's sad. You know what? All of these guys are fighters. And guess what? All right, I see you, Double Now. Guess what? The fact that all of these guys are former fighters, if the game wasn't dirty, why did all of you have y'all camps in the opponent's locker room? Right off the heels of this, did O'Shaquie Foster not catch his opponent trying to cheat him? Right off the heels about this. You're on mute, Stormy.
Notice how they didn't even really cover that. Remember? That news kind of like got swept to the side real fast too, because it was exactly the same scenario. But they caught this and it needed to be talked about. We were the ones talking about that. Nobody else.
What Fury did, Fury made the block hot. Because nobody's going to get away with this ever again. And he did it because he really thought that he was going to get out this third fight. The plan was to get 2 fights with AJ, make his millions of dollars, give Aaron back what he made and then some, and retire. Well, guess what? This just may be his last fight. Because really think about it. And salute to M. Smith, a job in that super chat. Myself appreciate it. He said, salute, King. Salute to you. You're a king yourself, brother. Let me tell you something, man. This man has no marketability after this fight. Because I'm going on record saying that Deontay's going to knock the shit out of him within 5 rounds. Come on, trolls. Screenshot this. Screenshot this. Talk about it. I'm calling it. He's going to knock the shit out of him.
There's another underlying thing here with what you were just saying about after this fight. No one pays much attention to words being spoken and truth right in front of your face. From what I understand, we got Tay here, and he can back this up if this is factual information, but I'm going to repeat it because it was stated. Fury had 2 choices. Fight Wilder in a rubber match or retire.
Or retire.
Now, that right there is about the strongest notion of a ruling. There is something, and I'm not asking to know what details are, but for them to put it like that, remember the talk about what his dad was suggesting. Why don't he just drop the belt and just go fight AJ anyway and stuff like that, right? It's like for all of those people like Stephen A. Snitch saying those things that he was saying, this is how this is working and all of that stuff, all of that foolishness. But if the judge tells him, you do this or you're done, that's like, you want to go to jail or you want to take care of business. And Drew know all about the law when it come down to that. So when they give you only 2 choices,
you want to go to jail or be a glorified snitch.
That allows you to continue on, even though you may be going through gunfire. Fury chose gunfire rather than retire. Isn't that interesting? But nobody's talking about that. Where is Bradley and Ward? Because I'm sure they got the information. They know it. Aram knows it. So why aren't they talking about these things? They're not talking about them because the doors are closing. It's gonna be a cash grab for Aram. Remember, who's in the red as it is, huh? And for Fury, it's gonna be a ceremony, huh? Closed casket.
Closed casket.
Hey, you know what's profound though is, Tay told me some information like 48. It wasn't even 48 hours after the fight about the water, about the injury, without everything, about everything that was going on. It just was something I didn't feel comfortable speaking on because it wasn't even in the mainstream media. It hasn't even been spoken on. It hadn't even surfaced yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But a lot of people just overlook it because he's part of the camp and they want him to present them with documents when it's outside their scope of understanding. You know what I'm saying? Why are you going to present them with a doctor's note and you're going to sit up here and dilute it and say it's fake? It's not official. And everything that went on, the only reason that they're not giving Deontay Wilder full credit is because Billy Collins, he shook Luis Resto's hand found out the gloves didn't have padding.
Thank you.
Deontay Wilder, he didn't quite know what was going on that night, so he couldn't get the gloves impounded. He know he was feeling a certain type of way. He got punished in that fight from a cheater, and he just didn't know what was going on. His body felt bad. Fury did some shit he wasn't able to do to his previous opponents. You know, it was just like a total chaos of confusion right there when it comes down to psychological dependency. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't know. And that's why the WBC is not going to take any action, because for one, you would have needed to confiscate the gloves and impound them that night. And also, it would have been good to find a water bottle that was around the ring to test the liquid that was in it. If that is indeed, you know, if the bottle was there ringside, you know,
well, we got tape
taken and poured out on the ring.
We got tape because Fury was sitting right there next to Shelly Finkel when one of his guys came up with a bottle of water, and Fury said, "Hey, where'd you get that from?" And he pointed over there, and he's like, "Oh, no, thank you." And Shelly Finkel was like, "Whoa, what's that about?"
Here we go, right here. There you go. Here you go.
Wait, yeah, there we go. Check this out.
Want that? Nope. Where'd it come from? Right there? No, thank you. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That happened. That happened, y'all.
And it's on tape.
Salute the DOG. He said, get Martin Carefoot to walk Wilder into the ring. That will be the most greasiest thing ever.
Yep.
If Martin Carefoot walked D to the ring, that would be, I would laugh my ass off. Salute to my brother, healer of the mind, body, and coach, my brother Focus Ball. He said gypsies are known for conning and skipping town. That exactly what the queen tries to do. He should be locked up after the fight if he does get bodied.
And if he does get bodied,
it ain't no if,
they should take his coffin and put it in a cell. Huh? That's what they should do.
Show.
Put his damn coffin in the cell and let it rot in the cell.
Salute to Slick Tom in that super chat. He says, where are the gloves? The gloves are in Sugar Hill House. He said that's where they are.
Mm-hmm.
The gloves are in Sugar Hill House. So when that part happens, man, listen, I want y'all to understand something. When the other part of this happens, and y'all know what I'm talking about, you don't believe me? Fine. But when the other part happens, and the judge says, okay, let's see the evidence. Do y'all have the gloves? Somebody better not say they're gone. Because if they look to him and they say, well, where are they? Well, I don't know. Well, you had them. No, I didn't. Don't lie, man. You told the barbershop that you had them in your house. Don't lie. Don't alter them. We heard you. Remember what I said? In concert. In concert. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, I told him, if you had nothing to do with what I saw, I'll take you at your word. However, I hope you understand the term in concert. All that means is if all four of us right here on this panel are driving in the car, and I say, I'll be back, y'all, and I jump out the car, going to a bodega, snatch the cash register, blast the owner, get back in the car, we drive a block, and y'all know what I did, and y'all get out and go home and don't say nothing. By the time the police come to knock on everybody's door, all of us guilty. You know why? Because nobody told on me. So they're all going to get charged as if they all pulled the trigger. In concert. Watch his face when I said that. Go ahead and look at his face. He knows. Me and him speak the same language. He's a former cop.
Once again, you got tape. Nicholas Asbury in his training session with Fury when he went in there and he picked up the gloves and something fell out and he said it had no padding and then a weight fell out. Hey, this stuff it's amazing that all of this is like right there. It's right there.
And that's a good thing because I always say time reveals all truth. Everyone thinks this is Law and Order. Look, even when you watch the show Law and Order, doink, doink, and it goes to the next scene, doink, doink, goes to the next scene. Even in those episodes, the issues drug out over a couple of months, maybe a year. Don't get fooled at a 60-minute program. These things take time. A lot of the brothers and sisters in the chat, they've been through a court process. Nothing is open and shut. Even when they have the murder caught on tape, it's not open and shut. Shut your mouth. Zenith 360 in that super chat, he said Wilder versus Fury need to get wrapped and gloved up in the ring. Fury said he don't care about being under a microscope because he's Houdini. Remember he said that? He all but admitting he cheats and gonna keep trying. Let me tell you something. Do y'all know how Harry Houdini died? Y'all want to know? Harry Houdini died basically off of an assault from one of the people that worked with him. Body shots was like a magic trick, but he wasn't prepared for them. And eventually his appendix burst and he died. Houdini died from body shots. Houdini died from body shots. Houdini died from body shots.
Bring him in. I'm like Houdini. Bring him in. I'm like Houdini.
Dead man walking. Dead man walking. Dead man walking. Dead man walking.
The universe does not lie. You get what you put out, good or bad. This guy's not going to make it. This guy's not going to make it. I don't care what you guys say. You guys have a wishbone instead of a backbone. And to you clowns that I used to support after the 25th, don't come back on this side of the fence. Do not come back on this side of the fence. You know what you're better off doing? You're better off not talking about boxing ever again. Ever again. Mike Coppinger, I already saw some dude say to you, you keep going on like this, you're going to lose all credibility because you've been wrong and wrong and wrong and emotional. Y'all said, oh, Deontay Wilder, he don't want to talk. He's not talking to the media. No, he's not talking to y'all mofos. He's not talking to y'all. Some of the people that had all this to say about him got his damn phone number. The press, how about call him up and ask him, yo, you good? You all right? You guys are pathetic. You guys are raccoons. You guys are rocket raccoons from outer space.
Very important point you just made there, Drew, about them having his phone number. We got Tay on here now, and I'd like to pose this question to Tay myself. Tay, through all the difficulty that the champ came through with this second fight and where we are now, are there any names that you would like to reveal that called the champ up and gave him positive support? Or did everybody kind of lay back and show their skin? You know what I'm saying? Because those who ride with you, they ride with you. And that would be an interesting thing to want to know, because what Drew just spoke, it means something. Mm-hmm. And I would like to know, because I wouldn't want to guess that, but you would know.
Mm-hmm. I do know a couple people that hit him up. I know Big George hit him up. Notable names: Big George, Holyfield, and a couple other cats. But it was funny to me is, it was a couple of older fighters that that knew what was going on back in the days as far as a lot of cheating in the sport. Some of the guys who spoke out were some of the ones who was telling him that they believe he was cheated. You know what I mean? So it's just funny. That's funny to me though, because a lot of them spoke out saying something different, but was telling D something else. So I was just like, okay, cool, no problem. You know what I'm saying? But it just showed that they was trying to cover themselves up too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's all good. But I do know Big George, Big Holyfield, couple other guys. I want to say Lennox, if I'm not mistaken, but those are a couple of noticeable names.
See, on our show, The Three Wise Men, myself, Kurt Sugar, and Scrapbook Boxing, we cover the history of the sport a lot. And my man Scrapbook, man, he revealed some things about cheating in the sport of boxing that are unbelievable. And like boxers going to a town and seeing bodies, dead bodies of fighters who fought hanging from trees. And you don't know if they were hanging because they didn't throw a fight they were supposed to throw, that they lost a fight they weren't supposed to lose, or if it was just after the event was done, they just got rid of them. But these are things that happen. Food and fruit being given to fighters in the corner, and a fighter is eating something and it makes him, weary and stuff like that. And he can't perform his normal way and he ends up losing and stuff like this. There have been fighters of present modern day. When Klitschko went over to Europe and had all his title defenses over there, it's amazing that when fighters went over there to fight him, they'd end up cut up real bad and everything and all busted up. But when he fought guys in the U.S., they never looked like that. And, there have been reports of poisoning fruit baskets delivered to hotel rooms, stuff like that. I know professional fighters who were fighting in the late 90s, went over there to Germany, got poisoned. The fire alarms triggered in the middle of the night in their hotel rooms before the night of the fight and stuff like all different kind of things to disrupt. And these guys were being told, hey, when you come here, bring your own stuff. Don't go out to no restaurants or nothing like that. Because, and listen, anybody that know the history of the last finals, when MJ got sick in Utah, okay, he was sitting up playing cards late at night with his teammates. And he said, I'm hungry. Let's order something to eat. So they ordered a pizza. And the place that they ordered from, they found out it was for the Chicago Bulls. And Jordan was the only one that ate the pizza because Scotty and them, they said, man, it's too late to eat, man. It's like, we got to get up in a couple of hours. Jordan was the only one that ate the pizza. And that was the famous sick game that he played.
The flu game.
He so-called had the stomach flu. It was from a place. And guess what? That place went out of business because the Bulls took care of it privately. But they poisoned MJ's pizza that night. So it happens in the sport. Don't let nobody sit up and try to tell you that this ain't real. It's real, bro. It's real.
Salute to Adrian Vett. He said the police should be on standby ringside to arrest a half-dead Fury. I agree. Scotty, what you got on that, brother?
I just want to know how deeply it shakes up boxing. Deontay Wilder gets his title back and everything. What's next? Are we going to be able to see the red tape and politics come out in boxing? Or are we going to, for once and all, have an undisputed championship? I don't have no doubt that Deontay can go in there and will go in there and get his title back. My process is thinking ahead to what it was back in 2018. In 2018, they took him through that like slave type of negotiation process where no one else was getting flat fees except Deontay Wilder. 12 million, 15 million. Nobody else was getting that shit. Carlos Takam, none of them guys. But I want to know, he get his title back. Are we going to be able to see Joshua? Joshua's going to all of a sudden say, no, I'm going to get off my titles. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's my biggest question when it comes down to it. And y'all say it's profound statements when it comes down to cheating. Cheating been around boxing forever and a day. But when it comes to Deontay Wilder, somehow, some way, he's an anomaly that people don't believe shit he says. The man looked fucked up in the fight, y'all. He took a beating. He took a beating from a boxer who wasn't putting beatings on other fighters. Otto Wallin actually fucked Fury up.
He did.
I mean, come on, man. What are we talking about? Tom Schwartz looked okay to me. Francisco Pianell looked okay to me. Sefa Safari, he received a wet one. He was okay. But Deontay Wilder was fucked up at the end of that fight, man. You know what I'm saying? And for people, all these people on social media, especially YouTube, to ignore this shit and act like you want to support a bona fide, legitimate, official, validated cheater in Tyson Fury, suspended from the sport, a dope fiend, a cokehead, and to think he's going to return to the sport, and Deontay Wilder gift this man with the opportunity, and he stabs him in the back, off with his head.
Completely off with his head. Completely knock his head right off his shoulders. Now watch this. The same people that said there's no cheating in boxing and say that we're making up excuses, and he's making up excuses because remember, he ain't talked for a long time. Before it was just us. Now it's us and him. This stuff don't happen. Mike Carpenter want to say, yo, it's not that they don't love you. It's just that they didn't like the excuses, the allegations. As to say that it don't happen. What's this?
So there's been a few, but people take drugs, don't they, in boxing? They all take drugs, I'd say. All of them.
Really?
Yeah. I'd say they're all abusing performance enhancers or weight strippers or whatever they're going to do to take drugs. I think they all take drugs. All athletes.
Define all. Who's
everybody?
Well, obviously you're not talking about yourself, so.
Who can be against me? Nobody.
So you seriously were worried that they...
And listen, I had good information off of good resources not to touch anything in the changing rooms because they might try and drug you. And someone tried to pass me water from all sorts. And unless it was sealed contained from my own baggage, because I had my friend Dave, he brought all the waters over and the drinks from England, there was no chance of me getting drugged.
There's no chance of him getting drugged. Right? He didn't drink that water. That was after the Wilder Fury 2 bout. So as you can see, it's very real. It's very, very real. Now, real quick, before we talk about what else I want to talk about, egg weights. We actually have a flat set that fits perfectly into gloves to fill out the fist and increase the intensity without compromising form. Y'all go to Instagram and go to egg weights. It's funny how we're making excuses and Deontay's making excuses, but I just played for you what this man said. Where was Mike Carpenter and Kevin Iole and Rick Glasser? Since they're boxing insiders, what did they say when he was talking about that before fighting Vladimir Klitschko? Did they say anything? I don't think they did. It must be cool to be that complexion. Cool.
Let me add this too, Drew. About 6 or 7 years ago here in the Chicagoland area, there were some local Walmarts that had recall on water, bottled water. Someone had tainted the bottled water by injecting the lids of the plastic caps with a syringe and putting substances in the water. This was Walmart about 6 or 7 years ago. It was in the news here,
man.
And so if someone wants to look at it like, well, a bottle can be sealed, right? And you don't know, but it can still be tainted because the plastic cap's on the top. Now, I don't know what they've done in the aftermath to stop that or whatever, but there was a report of it in the news here.
Well, I'll add to that. In the 80s, some fool was running around putting sewing pins inside candy bars. And kids was biting into candy on Halloween, their Halloween candy, biting into candy and stabbing their mouth up. Some fool was doing that. So for that whole decade, the parents had to check the candy bars before they gave it to their kids. People are that sick. This is what we're dealing with here. Salute to Jay Gibson in that super chat. He said, blowing that on that Fury pack right now. Oh, man, listen, I'm smoking this guy all the way up until I get to Vegas. I will be in Vegas. I'm giving out free hugs. Right? Giving out free hugs. Salute to Jafari Cesar. He says Wilder should dress as an Undertaker with the theme music. You know what? If he does that, I'll laugh my ass off because this is gonna be some beating he hand out, man. Salute to Rashid Muhammad in that super chat. Much love and appreciation. What I want to do right now I mean, and salute to Show Your Boxing IQ. He said, "Won't surprise me if the WBC cover up the failed tests." The only way the fight don't happen is if this guy popped dirty on purpose, and that's what I'm gonna say about that. But
hey Drew, I wanted to ask, where was the censorship when Tyson Fury was talking about everybody's taking drugs? Then they basically cut off Deontay Wilder during the interview when he said,
"Oh my God, man, you was there. You was in the gram. I was there. I think I saw you." And right when the fool I'm about to talk about in a minute said what he said, magically everything went haywire. They cut D off, and then when it restarted, the chat was disabled. Funny, right? Very strange. But it's not about race, right? Salute to my brother IML Will in that super chat. He said, "Can't wait to see Fury head get put into the 5th row. I'm be standing there with my goddamn catcher's mitt." And salute to Xena 360. He said, "Why Sugar Hill always looking like hostage?" Because he is. He's like a hostage over sausage. I don't know what those folks are doing, man, but you know, everything is cool, man. I mean, look at this shit. What the hell is this? Is this nigga serious? Man, I'm over it, but you know what? Shout out to this guy. That's the man of the hour. That's the arbitrator. Be mad at him. But anyway, let's move along.
Hey, Drew.
By the way, Ward, hey, Ward, and everybody else that doubts it. Charles Martin saw this. This ain't normal. Sorry. This ain't normal. Sorry. 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 That's not normal. Sorry. Sorry. Want a little closer look? That's not normal. Sorry. Sorry. This is when he was laying on the floor in the first fight. Not normal. Sorry. All right. Not normal. Sorry. Anyway, now on to this fool.
Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
You know, before you go into that, man, it's because I got to get ready to get on the road to Tuscaloosa. But
Yes, sir.
what I'm about to say. The guy to the left of me, you know what I'm saying, he can pretty much tell you a lot of stuff. You know, I built a relationship with Scotty White maybe about a little over 3 years ago, you know, when he first covered one of my fights. And one thing that he can tell you himself when we talked on the phone before this interview, it was pretty much like, "Hey, man," I forgot exactly what he said. I was like, "Nah, everybody in my team official." You know, we got to talking and our relationship grew over the time. But a lot of this stuff, like he said earlier, a lot of this stuff that's coming out now, some of the stuff that has came out around like March, April, things of that nature. This
Right.
man to the other side of the screen of me, he had already knew because I told him.
Right.
And I haven't been wrong about anything I said.
Nope.
I haven't been wrong about anything I said. And now the other day, when I had text you, it was funny because somebody had hit me on Instagram and they was like, "Hey, you know, Tay, I apologize for trying to dig." I guess he was trying to apologize for digging too deep in something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't answer my Instagram and things of that nature because I'm a, you know, private person. So I was just looking at the message and this guy kept hitting me. He hit me maybe like, I want to say maybe 2 days after the press conference, which was Tuesday. So it was on a Thursday. And then on Friday, he hit me again. I'm like, damn, what this dude want? So as I'm reading this message, he states, "You know, Tay, I just want to thank you for keeping it real. You know, of course, everybody will have questions, but after seeing what I saw, I don't need any more proof because the proof is right in front of your eyes if you just look." And then I had wrote back a whole bunch of question marks like, "Huh? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?"
Right.
And that's when he sent me that picture of Deontay's face. But here's the thing about that, though. Here's the thing. There's only very so many people who know where the actual dent was at. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's only a couple people who knew, myself included. I believe I said something to Scotty a long time ago. And it was one other person in the LDBC, and that was only because we had talked. And for a long time, I've always wanted to say what most people think is that it's not what the actual indentation is.
Right.
But that wasn't my place to say anything.
I
But
got
I
you.
said, and if you look at the interview, I don't know whose show it was on, but I had to catch myself. I said, he had, he got the dent, and then I went to get ready to point to the exactly where it is, and then I had said, I thought to myself, nah. I said no, because that ain't my place, right? So if you go back and look at the interview, I clearly had stated it's not what people think it is. But I knew where it was at. So when that picture was sent to me, the first thing I did was call D. I called D like, yo, bro, people catching on, people really doing their homework. And he was like, what you talking about? What you mean? And I had to go into the detail what was going on. And the thing he said was, press 1. That's what he said. He said, press 1. You know what I'm saying? He said, man, I don't got to lie about shit. Fuck them people. That's what he said. But I knew, me personally, I knew where it was at, because like I said, also in that video is when we was in Miami, although I have already known he had been going to the doctors, although I have already known he had got medical papers, although I have known that all this stuff was going on, right? Although I knew all of this, even when we seen each other for the first time, besides FaceTime, because there was a pandemic. He was in Tuscaloosa, I was here in Atlanta. But when we got together for the first time since the pandemic in Miami, on a random day, I think we was getting ready to go to the chiropractor, right? We was leaving out of the home that he stays in Miami. He said, "Oh, bro, I never showed you, huh?" I'm like, what are you talking about? Without any question, took my own 2 fingers and put it on there. So although I had already seen everything else, I have heard everything else from him, right? From him. And for him to even do that, bro, I was like, damn, that is fucked up, right? And that's when I became more vocal to saying much more. At first, I was only saying so much, but I became much more vocal because I felt like as a fighter or a former fighter myself, right? That shit can happen to anybody. And for a long time, and you asked Mr. Scotty, I didn't care to fight no more. I had my surgery, for my injury or whatever. Honestly, I didn't want to go fight no more. But I got back in shape and did, and I told D like, bro, seeing you go through this shit made me really not even care anymore. He was like, nah, bro, this shit supposed to make you stronger. Nah, bro, take what you learned from me and apply this shit to your team and people around you. Made them more knowledgeable. And it was just crazy to me, you know what I'm saying? And then now I see people, making videos and things of that nature, but there's so much, like, man, there's so much that I be wanting to say that I can't even say because it's not my place to say. You know what I'm saying? But I'm quite sure that this guy next to me would tell you everything that I've said. I've been saying this stuff since, hell, it's a whole year and some change later. I've been saying this since maybe a couple days after the fight. And I know for a fact that I told Mr. Scotty some stuff right when I got a call. When me and him spoke to each other, I was still in the airport when I think he might have just had got back to Atlanta. So how coincidence is it that everything I've always said before public even got hip to it, this man already knew what was going on? You know what I'm saying? So even when I sent you that picture, right?
Mhm.
And the guy who timestamped it. I'm looking at this message. I'm like, damn, motherfuckers really do be doing their research. So I go and look, and that's when I text you.
Yep.
And I asked you, I said, you tell me what you see. And without a doubt, he was like, oh shit. Right? So I don't understand what people, you know what I'm saying, come with this from. And like I said before, you can go look at plenty of other interviews way before this. You can go look at plenty of other pictures way before this, before that night. And you'll see. You know what I'm saying? You'll see. He just recently did, well, it wasn't recently, but well, it was recently, did an interview with ESPN that was actually at the press conference hotel area, wherever it was at. Did it that day. And if we go look at the ESPN interview, you can see it there as well. But you know, it's funny to me, you know what I'm saying, because the LDBC as a whole was actually on point, right? And I feel like as if because I didn't say so much or didn't say so much, you guys was on the right track and still on the right track, right? But nobody actually knew where the indentation was. But it's there. You know what I mean? And you can't deny that. That's something that you cannot deny. So I just wanted to clear that up, man. You know what I'm saying? Because people people making all these remarks, and I see all these different videos of people trying to say this and this and that. Man, listen, at the end of the day, this whole collective group was on their shit, doing their homework, doing their due diligence, and was on track. Nobody really knew where it was. But you that's something that I can no longer hide because it's it's out there now. It's you see it. I can't there's nothing for me to be quiet about you know what I'm saying? Because it's there. If that person hadn't sent me that, I probably still wouldn't even have said nothing. You know what I'm saying? Well, but you know, that goes to the people who say, well, that can't be true, this, and the third. Well, shit. Well, tell me how it got there.
You know, people are disgusting, man. People are disgusting.
You know, but you know, like I said before, you know, people, you know, criticize D for not talking, things of that nature. But at the same time, you know, when he talk is a problem. When he doesn't say anything is a problem. You know what I mean? And I heard what you was talking about with Andre Ward and Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley pretty much said that, you know, that haunted me in my fight when I came back and I wasn't talking to the press. I had my headphones on. But my thing is, y'all are two different people, cut from two different cloths.
That's right.
So I don't understand how people can correlate something to their own career. I mean, Malik told you himself, you're dealing with a motherfucker that's totally different. Totally different. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to say that, man, and hopefully that clear up a lot. But like I say, man, there's so much I can say. There's so much like I can say. Like I can say right now, I had a conversation with Ben Davison. I had a conversation with Ben Davison. From what he's saying in his messages to what Fury's saying to what what's the other guy name? The other old fighter that Floyd beat up, Ricky Hatton. They all said three different things. So somebody got to be lying. Drew, I sent you the messages.
Y'all hear that, right? There's a lot I don't put out, but listen, man. He's not lying. I don't have these people's information, but I get my phone will beep and I'm reading it and I'm reading them like, yo, what? I'm telling y'all, there's a lot going on that y'all will never know. But by the time y'all figure it out, it's going to be too late. And I'm talking to the Fury supporters. Salute to Mark Wonderlit in that super chat. He said, LDBC, Bomb Squad Team Petty. No doubt, fam. And salute to, I'm missing one. Salute the Volcanus in that super chat. Salute Big Drew in chat. Salute to you, fam. But yeah, y'all think I be making it up?
Hey Drew,
man
can you put Ajong the Great's quote up there? He's right a couple of messages above Vulcanus, who gave you a $10 super chat.
This one? He
Yeah.
said that Drew Titan, that Stormy. Remember when damn near every LDBC channel live was buffering every time y'all spoke about the situation last year? Yes. Yes. A lot of our streams, and I don't know if this was happening to you too, Scotty, but a lot of our streams were buffering. Everything was looking all funky. You know, I got the best, I got the highest. My thing is plugged into the router. Why am I buffering? Don't know. But it was happening to us. Very strange. But when I tell y'all, Tay talks to these people on the other side. I've seen the text. It's not for me to speak on it. But I know what I know. And they know. So when I tell you something, put it in your mind and hold on to it. Tay, if you got to bounce, it's all good. I'm gonna keep Scotty on for a little while. If you need to leave.
No, no, I just wanted to get that out before we got to the next subject.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, I'm gonna get on the road. It's 7:41 a time, but I'm okay.
Oh, okay. So since you're here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on to this poor kid, man. These poor kids, the Charlo brothers. And I know I said I wouldn't discuss them, but what he did yesterday is the most pussycat thing, and it's what children do.
What do you do?
It's what children do. First of all, you're a pro fighter. All right. Now, I know I got trolls in here watching me. Let me put it on me. When I've snapped on here a few times, y'all just saw me on Fred's show. I snapped on that dude, Super Cool. He's not a content creator. He's just an annoyance, whom I think is not even black, by the way. But that's another conversation. And last I remember, he said he lived in Vegas. And I said, all right, fine. Well, I'm coming to Vegas. We finally get to meet. I want to punch him in his face. But you know what? I said, let me rescind that. You said every time you work out at some sort of star-studded event, you run 1,000 miles a month. He said that. I said, boom, I'm being Vegas, and I could challenge you to some sort of workout regime. And we see who does better. Fine, he ain't called back. Well, he called back. He had nothing to say. Fine. All right. Y'all heard me snap on Teofimo Lopez. Fine. I was pissed off. I stand by why I was snapping, but fine. What Charlo did yesterday was the biggest punk move that I've seen from a professional athlete to another professional athlete.
What do you do?
The man said, oh, shoot, you don't know. Bro. The man said, you know, when D, you was in the room when D said, yo, he need to get smacked for that. And I'm a real one.
Right.
These guys are professional fighters, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what this man said? And listen, what I said was I'm not going to do a video about it because I don't want to amplify it. But it must be addressed because I need to explain how much of a sucker this shit was. He said he has shooters that'll die for him. My nigga, what are you talking about? Now, here's why I'm flipping. And before I get on that, salute to the mother effing general in the building. He said, I've been a street dude my whole life, and I ain't never met a gangster with a purse ever. Thank you. And for those of you that don't know what he's talking about, when the Charlos was in my city, you know, complaining about racism one time, the same time, they went to a club and left their man purse on a table, and some chick jacked them for $16,000 or something like that. The same time, he was in there and Dayton Jacobs punked them, and they did nothing. Lions in the camp, liars in the camp. Your bark is big, but you said you got shooters. You're a professional athlete. Let me tell you how much of a sucker move that was. You're a fighter. I remember when you had Blue Blood's name messed up in your mouth. You got on your YouTube channel, whatever it is, and you said, unsubscribe to Blue Blood, and when I see him, I'll do A, B, and C. Blue Blood is not a professional athlete, let alone a professional fighter. Why are you on here talking about you're going to put hands on a professional fighter? I mean, on a media member. What is that? You're talking about putting hands on a media member. And what you thought he said, he didn't even say. And after that, we still supported you and your brother. That's called loyalty. But you, a professional fighter, want to put hands on Blue Blood. I've met Blue Blood. You're a little bigger than him. But still in all, you're a pro fighter. You ain't supposed to be doing none of that. Now, I know y'all have little hissy fits. You calling each other baby mamas, all kind of fat bees. Y'all have that kind of relationship. I let all of that go. But yesterday, you got shooters. Listen, you are the reason why we got to put up with racists in our comment section. Because while we're talking about getting killed by police and everything else, and how Deontay's getting treated, and how y'all was getting treated, we got to deal with, but Chicago, but black on black crime, but the Bloods and the Crips. I got shooters. Yo, when I say y'all are so canceled. There's no coming back from that. Shooters. You're a pro fighter. You said you're going to beat up Blue Blood. D said he's going to smack you. You could have got up there and said, yo, man, look, when we see each other, it's going to be what's going to be. And left it. You got shooters. That means you ain't going to raise no hands to a man that's going to raise his hands back to you. You raised your hands last night. You looked mediocre. So mediocre that Benavidez is on your bumper now. You got people saying, nah, Triple G bodies you. Now, had you not said that, we'd have came to your defense. Now, I have no horse in the race. It's going to be what it's going to be. Why you ain't get a Triple G fight, by the way? Why you ain't get a Canelo fight, by the way? You rather shoot Sean the tip. What's wrong with you? You was in here talking about racism. And you were right. But because you made a dickhead statement and he addressed you, tough guy, you got shooters now. Now you got shooters. You're a pro fighter. You got shooters. That's where you're going. You might have shooters. I don't know. What I do know is that was a pussycat move. That was a pussycat move. That was dumb. And you said us back 50 years with that statement. Because I know channels right now saying, look at these niggas. Look at these niggas. All off code. All off code. That was dumb. That was stupid. Shooters, that's where we're going. When I tell you you guys are canceled, I don't care what you do. Win or lose.
They saying
Jamel said that. What's that?
They saying Jamel said that.
Guess what? Jamal was the one that said, Deontay, nah, he ain't lose because of nothing else. He just got his ass whooped. Jamal said that some time ago. And Rick Glasser took his quote, put it in a meme, had Joe Deontay getting punched in the face by Fury, and hashtag that. He said, thank you, Jamal Charlo, and hashtag the Ldbc in the meme. Press 1 if y'all remember that.
I just called him out last night. I just called out Rick Glasser last night. He ain't coming to the fight.
Good for him. Because guess what? He's an old man. What am I going to do, threaten him? I ain't threatening nobody. I'm just saying it's going to be what it's going to be. I'm coming to the fight with the family to hang out and enjoy the festivities. Leave me the fuck alone. Don't try and get famous. It's not going to work out for you. Please. It's on record. Please leave me alone. Look at all the ones in the chat. Everybody remembers that. So it's not, it was Mo, not Mel, not Mel, not Mo. It was both of them niggas. Strike one, strike two, strike three, strike. Nope. Y'all done fouled out the game. Y'all done struck out. What did Jay say? You can't change a player's game in the 9th inning. Y'all cats are canceled. Y'all got to be picture perfect for the rest of your career. Last night, I'm telling you, something happened last night that was unexpected. He had a hard fight. And now you're looking like food for everybody. Work it out.
Well, I'm gonna just say this. You know, if he choose to play that game, I think a lot of people forget who my, biological older brother is. You know, you can do the research and look at ESPN. That we know what goes on that session. So I'm not worried about any of that tough guy talk. As far as Deontay, same way he got people ready to do life about him, Deontay does too. So I mean, what are we talking about?
The fact that he even said that, that's a sucker because he's a tough guy, right? Lines in camp, walking, all out.
He said the man need to be slapped for saying that. But then you come back and say you got people ready to do life behind him. He came at you. He ain't sent nobody else at you. He sent himself came at you. So you're supposed to go back at him as a man.
As a man. Thank you.
I get you.
But I don't care what kind of boxer you are. Man, let me shut up, man. Scotty, brother, what you got on this, man?
I'm like, what about all the time he was blasting Jerry Hurd in front of his family, though? He was out there just talking reckless, man. He was disrespecting Jerry Hurd, and Hurd at that time was the unified champion. He was cool, low-key type of dude. But every time Jermell Charlo seen him in public, he would blast that cat. Disrespect this girl, call her a bitch, all that shit. And I agree. He should have just directed the man who basically sent the message. You know what I'm saying? He should have addressed him. That would have been all she wrote right there. If you had a problem with Wilder said, address it. Who is these niggas you talking about that'll do life for you? Please, somebody explain that shit. He has dudes in his circle that will take their freedom away and do what exactly? Pull a trigger? It's easy to go out here and be trigger happy. But you have cats in your circle that's willing to basically omit their freedom for you and do life in prison. Now, that was the dumbest Mark type shit I've heard from a dude that called themselves Lines Only or whatever the case may be, associated gang affiliate, all that shit, man. That shit does nothing for me.
This.
Hold on. Let me get this super chat real quick. Pete Davenport in the super chat. He said, I rock with the Ldbc, World Combat, Champ Side, Wilder, and as a fan, I respect the truth. I got shooters. Jamal Roberson is the name. Don't drop no dimes out here. Don't drop no dimes. Don't drop no dimes out here. Yo, go ahead, Stormy. What you saying?
I was just gonna say is talking about his background before boxing. He was a street dude. Do he not know that the streets existed before he came on the scene, and they'll be here after he gone? You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you need to really be getting in touch with the energy vibe that's been put out there. It's just like D said, the people tore your ass up, and they're gonna continue to tear you up, and the streets are gonna eat you up because you're a professed badass. And there's always a bigger, badder ass.
You ain't lying. Slick Tom back in that super chat. He said Jamal got booty goons, Drew, and it's getting spooky. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy.
His goons a backup dancer for Cisco, bro.
I mean, it's ridiculous, man. And I was ignoring it. I remember saying, I'm like, yo, I'm not even gonna pay this kid any mind. He's off cold. Let him, whatever. But when he said that, I got triggered. You know that's the new word they're saying? I got triggered. I got like upset. I'm like, why would you say that? That you went all the way there? You're a pro fighter, though. Even if you're not gonna do anything. He could have sit there with his chest stuck out. Yo, when I see him, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And I'd be like, all right, he don't mean that, but at least, whatever. He's just talking. But I do remember you was in Brooklyn, and salute to my brother, Specific Volume. I see you down there, brother. You was in Brooklyn, and you was barking real big, and then Danny Jacobs walked up on you. He ain't walked past you and look at you. He walked up on you. He said something to the effect of, yo, you know my number. And I think both of y'all niggas were there. Where was all that? Where was all that? I know Big Baby was there. Maybe he'd have made a sandwich out y'all and ate y'all. I don't know. But y'all slowed up. Y'all energy changed. All I'm saying is Danny Jacobs from Brooklyn. That's all I'm saying. And y'all weren't home. So maybe that's why energy changed. I don't know. But to say you got shooters, my dude, in this atmosphere, what this brother is going through, what you're fighting against, you one of those Andre Ward dudes. Yo, man, I ain't asked for your help. And guess what? Champside was attacked. And shout out to Champside. Champside was attacked over a pound for pound list that made more sense than anything that I've seen. And we have another group of racist kids did a whole video calling him a monkey. All because he put out his pound for pound list and exposed the chronic disrespect for Mel and Maul. Y'all say nothing. Y'all don't say thank you. And you know what? Guess what? We're not looking for the thank you. That's the funny part. We're not looking for the thank you. We're in the trenches because it's the right thing to do. Because we know
we don't need their support.
Y'all don't have to acknowledge it. We do it because it's the right thing to do. But I gotta fall back on a lot of these guys because a lot of these guys are making me regret that I supported them. A whole lot of them. Focus Boy, you got the link, brother. And pay those, the cats that did that, pay them no mind. Because it's 5 of them, and they all of them, they could barely vote. But it's funny how YouTube allowed that video with that slander on it to even remain there. But we get in here and we start talking about things that affect the black community, and then here come the Google mods, blocking super chats, making people not be able to post their regular comments. This happens to us. We just said, when we was talking about it as it happened, Wilder Fury 2, we're buffering. We get attacked by racist people all the time, coming up in here talking all crazy. But that's okay. YouTube is going to get put in a position because a lot of us can prove damages. We can prove damages. Why do you think they come up in here and start talking about close your channel every time we're wrong about something? Because it's boxing. We're not right 100% of the time. Oh, the Ldbc is this and that. Close your channel. Why do you think I'll be close your channel? Like when a black athlete does something wrong and gets arrested. Oh, he should never fight again. Oh, he should never play ball again. Take his money. It's like, dude, he was fighting dogs. It was dog fights. Did y'all say take Jim Leyrick's money? Former New York Yankee. Ran over a couple of people.
Did they say, Drew, to the Asian community that they just made new laws for? That, you know, the fact that they cooking dogs and feeding them to people in the community, did they say anything about that?
Hey, listen, you're not lying.
Go check that meat in their shops and restaurants.
And you're not lying. You're not lying. There was all right, man, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. That's a whole nother rabbit hole. But I'm telling you straight up and down, we're up against it. When you're born into this world black, you're up against it. I don't care if you're black and speak French, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese. The darker you are, you're up against it. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. Salute to Joseph Townsend. in that super chat. He said ninjas turn professional athletes, then want to turn gangster. The whole LDBC is behind Wilder, and anybody can make a phone call because them ninjas is hoes. Yes, they are. That was a sucker move. And you know how I know he don't mean what he say? Because if anything from that point, from yesterday on, if so much as a rock is thrown at Deontay's head, if the law gets involved, they're gonna go straight to him. He's gonna be like, well, why are you talking to me? Well, you said this. And we just asking questions because rock was throwing at Deontay's head, and you said you had shooters, so now we're talking to you. Dumbass. No one is that stupid. Sorry. Asshole just said something yesterday. I'm ill. What you got on it, brother?
Well, the most sickening part about all this, it's always got to be one of us that have to come and try to tear down another brother. And I've been watching videos of people who look like us. I mean, the buck dancers, the Sambos out here making videos talking about Wilder is making up his injuries. Now, what they ain't talking about is the fact that he has injuries on the side of his face. Like, this man has a whole hole in his fucking face. And you want to talk about the position of his finger when trying to find the hole in the side of his fucking face. There's a hole in this man's face. This is what they ain't asking. How did the hole get there? They don't want to talk about that. They want to make up every excuse, try to tear this man down. But I tell you what, all you buck dancing Sambos, you spineless, jellyback pieces of dog shit on this internet, the buckos of the world, if you will. Yeah, put a name on this fucking clown. The buckos who can get behind the safety of a computer and call these grown-ass men bitches that wouldn't say not a mumbling word to these people's face when you built like a fucking ant. You look just like E.T., big head, small body ass bitch. You a whole bitch ass motherfucker. You the type of motherfucker I would slap. Take you to your mama house, slap you again, and tell you need to raise your son right. He a whole bitch out here. It seems like everybody that keep talking shit about Wilder some weak ass bitches. Why all y'all weak ass bitches can't aspire to be strong like this king? Why y'all always gotta say stuff behind the safety of a computer or the internet just so you can get some clicks and views and likes? You can't support another brother who's putting light on the injustices against black people. We've been hit, we've been hung, we've been strung up in trees, shot, fed to alligators, our buildings burned, our kids killed. We get murked today on the streets for just simply being black, but you stupid, goofy motherfuckers get your stupid asses on this computer and y'all talk y'all dumb, ignorant shit. Oh, man, Deontay Wilder's delusional. You got Tim Bradley last night on ESPN. Man, I wore headphones to my match too, and I lost. No, you lost because you fucking suck. You ain't Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is a knockout artist. He's knocked out every human being who ever stepped in the ring with him. You ain't had that. You ain't got a knockout ratio like this king. You ain't did what he's done. Tyson Fury had to cheat in both fights. This is the first fight we get to see Tyson Fury fight on his own will. He's gonna try to cheat. Oh, bet your ass he's gonna try to cheat, but he's not. He's forgetting one thing. That man sit up there in that corner over there, Tay Jones, Chris Wilder's king, his camp. They're gonna have eyes on his ass. Like we were seeing a big booty bitch in a club. I swear it's gonna be so many eyes on his ass. He ain't gonna be able to breathe without. Oh man, you need a tissue? Oh man, where you come from? Oh yeah, I'm here. He's gonna have eyes all around the ring. We all gonna be in the building. We're gonna have eyes all around the ring. We're gonna see some fuckery going on. Hey, ref, hey, yo, check them gloves, homie. Check them gloves, homie. He might wear glove up in the middle of the ring. Cause the eyes is gonna be on his ass July 24th. You can't run. Oh, you can't hide. There's no need to even try. Because on July 24th, Deontay Wilder's coming to town, and Hell the Reaper will come for his soul. Better get your business right with Jesus. And I mean the real one this time, not the one you pull out when you want to sound off for mental health. And now all of a sudden, y'all trying to flip the narrative and say Wilder has the mental issues when this fool done wrote a book about mental health. The fuck is wrong with you weirdos? Or I can keep going. I can keep going. You know me,
yo, bro, Scotty. Yeah, I know you can keep going. Scotty, what you got on that, brother?
Shit, Ill Will got ill with it, so I'm chilling. Shit.
Hello, Scotty, man. How you doing, bro?
Hey, I'm good, dog. I mean, a lot of shit you were saying is correct, man. It's a lot of motherfuckers just hating on Deontay, because of everything he did right. I don't know why it's such a big deal in this era that they want to support a cheat. And not just that, he's a UK fighter at that. I'm not saying, for them not to support UK fighters, but why somebody who never popped positive? Why somebody never was cheating? You know what I'm saying? I mean, damn. It's strange, man. It's weird. Like all these motherfuckers are drug dependent. Something's going on, man. You don't want to support a clean fighter, a fighter who started the sport to support his daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's the real story. That's the real story. Listen to this. I don't want to butcher your name. I'm just gonna call you XI Moo. I don't want to butcher your first name. He said, "My avatar says it all. This is how many ancestors snatched up violators, hashtag Fury, before they took their head off. Aboriginal American power, hashtag power, and prosperity to Wilder." Bro, that's why man, the power of the ancestors, and that's something that Fury said he don't believe in, but then again he does, because one minute he said he don't believe in alternate gods because Jesus Christ is his Lord and Savior, and then 2 years later he says Tyson Fury is a flawed man, but the Gypsy King is something else. That lying ass bastard. But the real story is Deontay Wilder. The man he didn't come out the womb saying, y'all want to be a boxer. He said, man, I can't support my daughter with this disease, this situation, this medical situation. Hey man, I punched real hard. I've been told, let me get in this boxing ring. Long story short, gets a bronze medal. Is he the only American fighter that got a medal that year? If I'm not mistaken, he is, right? I gotta Google that. I think he's the only American that got a medal that year. This guy has been fighting against the grain the whole time, ridiculed the whole time. He ain't got no money. He's broke. No one knows him. All of these lies. All the way up to this point. And he still got his peers talking bad about him. They're not hitting him up behind the scenes. Andre Ward is a company man. He could just as easily called him up and said, D, you good? You need me to come down there and help you? I saw something in your footwork. Let me come down there and show you some things. They're not doing that. And he didn't come out the womb saying, I want to be a boxer, but all these other guys did. Born and raised in the gym, Floyd Mayweather. Hey, Floyd, it's not anyone's fault but your genetic makeup that you're the size of a woman. And I'm sorry for everybody that's small, that's like 147 pounds and don't like it. And if you're 147 pounds and you're insecure about it, it's not. See, I could tell certain small dudes will look at a bigger dude and get jealous. But guys like Floyd, who has it all, the world is not enough. Like the James Bond film. The world is not enough. You think Floyd is happy? He might be. But he would love to be a heavyweight. If he could talk to God and say, yo, if you wanted to redo one more thing, he'd be like, yeah, I want to be a little bigger. You couldn't make me 6'5"? Huh? I know that's the problem. He compensates with his behavior. What about Andre Ward? Blood, sweat, and tears. My technique is flawless. I'm undefeated. And this nigga steps off a beer truck. Not even a real heavyweight. Knocking out everybody 30 pounds heavier than him. How's he doing? Getting all the shine that I should have had. So all I'm going to do is talk about his flaws. He's lying. Tim Bradley, another little dude. Man, I could go on and on. Shout out to James Hainsworth. He said, oh, you need a tissue? I'm here. Straight fire. Man, I'm just so tight, man. Stormy, what you got, brother?
Man, you guys are cooking very well, man. I'm enjoying. If you want me to comment on Charlo, or what do you want me to
take it where you want to take it, man. We cooking Charlo dogs. We cooking Charlo dogs.
Well, listen, man. My only interest in either Charlo brother would be in the ring, you know, what they're doing in the ring when the bell rings to start the bout and when the final bell tolls to end the bout. They have proven themselves for me to be not worth the time of day for sound bites or anything of any interest outside of the ring. With the disrespect that they have shown toward not only the community at large, various representatives of the community, the utmost disrespect. I mean, listen, I think I said it all Friday night on my show when I talked about the champ channeling the character of Ali. Now, we know how people want to, in today's present time, respect Ali and show respect, you know, and all of that. But don't forget that came after he was one of the most hated men in the world. That came after he professed to say, I'm the greatest, I'm pretty, I'm the baddest man out there. They hated all of that. And guess what? There were black people who hated that as well. I'll never forget the black people who lined up to buy their tickets when he was going to fight Joe Frazier in their first fight. It was one of the biggest events in the history of boxing, two undefeated champions facing off. But there were people that just wanted to see Joe Frazier close Ali's mouth. Black people, his own kind. And I'll tell you something. It's funny how karma works, right? Because I'm tying this into where we're going with the rubber match with Deontay getting his opportunity to face Fury. I just told you there was a tremendous swarm of people, including black folks, that wanted to see Ali fall when he fought Frazier. But where was he when he got his title back? Who was rooting for him when he got his title back? What was the call? Ali, Boomaye. Ali, Boomaye. Huh?
That's right.
And he made history in the motherland. I've often spoken about this and said that had that fight taken place on American soil, he might not have even beat Big George.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about karma, and you speak on it sometimes, Drew. There's something about the universe righting itself. Okay? So when Champ said he didn't have to say nothing about Charlo in his remarks, the people tore his ass up. He couldn't have never been. That was like a remark that Ali would make because it's the truth. And remember, he said this in the video. He said, there's a time to speak and there's a time to be silent. Huh? And you have to have an ear to be able to hear the whispers of sentiment to tell you when those times are. And that's called intelligence. Okay? And that's called discernment.
Mm-hmm.
So most people don't have this. They don't. The Charlos are full of ignorance. Full of it. And they just happen to have a little extra cash that they can be in front where people see it most.
Yeah.
That's why microphones ain't made for everybody. cameras ain't made for everybody. We just happen to live in a time now where everything is being picked up.
That's right.
But discernment allows you to know when to turn it off. That's the one power you do have, to turn it off, which is why I said I'll tune in when the bell is about to ring, and I'll tune out when the final bell has rung. Everything in between or outside of that is inconsequential to me.
That's right.
That's all I got to say about them. And anyone like them.
Anyone like them. True story. Salute to Amawan Yasharala. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, brother. He said, can we all agree that with all that Deontay Wilder's up against, once he knocks Fury out, he has to be one of the greatest of all time? Yes, because they put Fury up on his pedestal for beating a guy that clearly wasn't a superior person to begin with. They put him on a pedestal for beating a guy that wasn't shit. That's what they're saying. So since it's like that, and this is such a big deal now, yes, he's going to be on my top 5 all time. And salute to Isaiah Felix. He said, salute, King. Just checked it online. Deontay is the only American medalist in 2008 Olympics. The only person that got a medal.
Wow.
The only one that got a medal. And they say nothing. They say nothing. This is how America does. If Deontay was white, it'd be all over the man. Tay, before I go to my brother Focus Ball, who just slid in the building, I noticed. Salute to Keith James in that super chat. He said, "Panel is greatness." Drew put that Buck music on. Oh yeah, I ain't got my beats on deck. No doubt, I should have brought it. Thank you though, brother. Tay, Antonio Tarver hit the camp up and offered his services. Your thoughts?
Everybody always want to, have their input. Everybody. But, yeah.
Hey, y'all see my picture? That's how Fury gonna look on July 24th.
I don't know, man. But, Antonio, man, like I say, man, like I say all the time, people, they know how to get in contact with different people, man. Antonio Tarver was the same guy who stood next to me on the subway in Vegas, getting to the destination to get to Vegas. We seen each other in the airport. Not only going, we also saw each other coming back and spoke. So was he really trying hard enough? But when I guess he just posted on his Instagram or something like that. I screenshotted it and put it in our group chat, and we all had a fucking field day with it. So it is what it is. I mean, hey.
I was just curious, man. Damn, Focus Ball fell off. Shit. Salute to Mr. Mechanical in that super chat. He said Gypsy Queen in for a dirt nap next month. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. What happened to Focus Ball?
He bopped off.
Just there. Oh, wait, there you go. There you go. Yeah, Focus Ball, what's good, family?
What's up, family? How y'all doing? Awesome.
I'm good.
Salute to everybody on the panel, man.
No doubt. Yeah. I got a little bit more. I got about 5 minutes left, man. Give us what you got, brother.
So I'm documenting everything that is being said right now. All the reporters who said what. And after the fight, I'm curious what they're going to say. I'm curious to see how many people are going to pretend like they see the gloves, because I actually uploaded a picture on my Instagram, and I tagged a bunch of these channels, these reporters, so I know they've seen it. You get me? So I'm curious as to what's going to happen after the fight.
Nothing. Here's my take on it. What I honestly believe is, I mean, you got to really think about it. This third fight was not in the itinerary. I mean, this guy really thought he was going to march over to AJ, have 2 fights with AJ, and retire. So all of this energy that he's having, you know, all the jokes and all this stuff, you notice he's calmed down quite a bit with the joking and stuff. And these face-offs and stuff like that, I would rather D not face off with him ever again, because what I noticed was his fat brother, they look like a fat carrot top.
Shane.
You talking about Cartman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Eric Cartman, that looking like that fat chitlin was trying to incite something. He knows that if D lay anybody out over there, there's no payday. So I'm patting them on the back for the professionalism. They said nothing or minimum. I heard Tay out there saying 2 times. And
they had me hyped, man.
And let me give Scotty his roses, because I watched that live stream, and when I said the fix being in, I was trying to send him a super chat the entire time, and I don't know what the hell was going on. It was not going through at all. So, and Scotty held it down, and when it came time to ask Malik those questions, Scotty, he took over that. I thought Scotty had his gun out. I thought Scotty had the gun out with just asking questions, because nobody said anything until he was done, man. So Scotty held it down. But what's next for Fury?
Appreciate
nothing.
You, bro.
After he loses, there's nothing left for him. What's he gonna do? AJ has to fight Deontay for undisputed. What does he do? Fight Dillian White? No one cares about that. No one cares. What does Tyson Fury do? Man.
Are they gonna say that if they're saying that Fury is right now the greatest, he overcame mental health issues? I thought Wilder was depressed. So didn't he come back from depression and knock out a man, 8 weight classes bigger than him?
Pound for pound, yes.
All the obstacles in the media. What is it? His own mental health issues. So is he gonna be lineal as well? He should be lineal too, right? When he knocks him out,
you notice they're not talking about lineal, right? That's not a conversation too much as of late. Notice that, right? That lineal conversation vanished. It's not even being spoken about now. The first time I heard it in months was when Jimmy Lemon Jr. said it. And I said, oh, I ain't hear that in a minute. Ain't no one talking about that. No one cares. Only thing I care about is getting to Vegas and just enjoying the sights, connecting with the family. Yeah,
literally sitting just.
We're gonna connect with the family. We're gonna get up. We're gonna party. It's gonna be a party that whole weekend.
Yeah, I got your shirt, Drew.
Good looking.
Yeah.
And why are we partying and so amped for this and looking forward to this? Meanwhile, the whole year, these fools is trying to get away from it.
Why tickets cost so much? I thought nobody wanted to see. How come tickets cost so much?
Facts,
man.
Why they selling out so fast, homie?
Fast.
But guess who's gonna be there though? Us.
Drew, we're literally right behind you, dog. Let somebody act up. We're right behind you.
Yep.
Dogs, listen. Let me go on record to say it again. We're not going out there for that. We're going out there to chill and enjoy the festivities.
And link up with the bros and turn up like a motherfucker.
And that's all we doing. That's all we doing. We're not going out there looking for trouble, because we're not gang members. We're family men. We're family men. And we got homes to get to. You know what I'm saying? No one's trying to go out of state to catch a case. We're not looking for that.
Facts.
And when I say I'm giving out free hugs, I mean it.
Me too.
Y'all thought I was joking. I mean it. Because I would love a troll to come up to me and identify themselves, because you know what? I'm not beyond a conversation. You can come up to me and say, yo, look, I don't like when you said that. I'm like, all right, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And I'll tell you why I said this and that. Might make a new friend. I'm being serious. I'm being serious. I'm not beyond the conversation. I'm not going out there for beef. I'm not going out there on my Charlo. Oh, I got shooters. Come on, dude.
We're going to have a
I'm
ball.
going out there to chill. When you see me, if you was trolling me and you see me, approach me. Let's talk. You can go live on your channel right there and see if you can battle me you can bag me in a debate. That's the only time I'll debate you is face to face. How about that? Don't be scared Don't be scared. Come say hi, man. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not going out there for that. I'm going out there to hang out with the brothers and watch Deontay Wilder knock Tyson Fury's head into the 8th row, and with the follow-up body shot, knock his guts. You picture Fury's small intestine hanging over the top rope.
Facts.
The blood squirting out on Andre Ward's face, and they're like, "Oh my God, he's dead, Jim."
Wait.
I mean, picture that. On some Walking Dead-ish.
Oh, I can't wait.
Come on now. That's what I'm going there to see. You know what I'm saying?
And me yelling at the ref, don't stop it.
Don't stop it.
Right.
He's okay.
Yeah, for
Give him
sure.
a minute. Pick up his guts, put him back in his stomach,
Staple him up real quick.
Out again.
Duct tape him
Don't
real
hit
quick.
his head. Put it back on his shoulders. Give him another chance.
Stormy, you going too?
I'm sorry, I'm bushing. Charlo. He said, not a liar, an excuse maker.
Hey,
No
Stormy,
doubt.
you going too? Stormy, you gonna be there too?
No, I won't be able to be there.
Damn.
But I'm gonna be tuned in. You can believe that.
Damn, I was hoping I get to chop it up with you in person, bro.
Scotty, you definitely gonna be there, right?
I know Scotty gonna be
Absolutely.
there. Hell yeah, I'm link up with Scotty again too.
We all gonna connect, and we gonna chill. And I'm telling you, see, I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna smack somebody. Look, I joke around a lot. But trust me, I'm too big to be walking around talking about what I'm gonna do to somebody. Because every time I've looked at somebody, but like, yo, what'd you say? Stop being a bully. That's what I get. That's my curse. That's my curse. I'm not going out there for that. If you trolling me and you see me, come talk to me. We can square it away. Don't make me say your name. Don't make me say your name. There's several of y'all. And if I see y'all there and we lock eyes and I walk towards you, don't run. I'm coming up to you to talk. Let's square this away. What is your problem? But I appreciate you getting me like 100 subs in a week. That's good work. Salute to Keith James. He said God spoke to the God Deontay Wilder. He said vengeance is mine. Damn sure did. And look, we confident, man. And more the trolls. I see the trolls. Yo, man, and even the people that just y'all are not trolling. Y'all honestly believe that Fury's gonna win. Not so much. Y'all a lot less vocal. But yo, I even heard that somebody that's been a bit anti-Wilder is actually picking Wilder to win.
Tyson?
No. But all I'm saying is, Negroes stay on that side of the fence. I heard you the first time. All right. Salute to my brother Tab Investments. Huge, heavy in that super chat. Much love and appreciation. He says, salute the Druth, Focus Ball, Tay, Stormy, I'm Ill Will, and the bros and sis. Keep up the good work. He said, keep up the great work. We need more groups of us like this to stand up, stay on code, support us. And the main thing, telling our own story. Stay up, stay real. Hashtag Ldbc. No diggity doubt. That's why we're here. Quality control is what I call it. Salute to, I'm going to learn how to say it. Amawan Yasharala. I hope I got it right, brother. Hope I got it right. Salute to you. I'm telling you, man, we are quality control. We're quality control. Have you heard anyone else talk up for Guillermo Rigondeaux? Anyone but us?
Nobody but us.
Look, man, we even spoke up to King Kong Ortiz. If any fighter may be nervous for Deontay, it was that man. And I heard that I think the WBC, did they order Ruiz versus Ortiz? Did I hear that right? Some sanctioning body ordered it. So mess around after Wilder beats Fury, the winner of Ortiz and Ruiz, if it's Ortiz, he might be in line to fight him again. Honestly, do you think I want that? No. That's the only guy that made me nervous. Everybody else was cake. Everybody else was I was not nervous not one time. Ortiz made me nervous. Fury didn't make me nervous. Once I figured out what it was, look, man, once Deontay figured out what it was, he said, oh, I knew something didn't make sense. I got poison. This guy had egg weights. He had horsehair on manipulation. Okay, hit me with wrist shots. The ref in there drunk. Now I know. Everybody's telling me, oh, that's bullshit. You got to prove it. Be careful what you ask for. Be very careful. I've been asking for this. And don't cry when you get the work. Do not cry when you get insult to injury. Don't cry.
So what happens when the fight's over and all the evidence comes out? Does he go to jail? Are you going to advocate for this guy to get locked up the way Louis Resto did?
No, they're going to cry.
For his boxing license.
They're going to cry and be like, yo, man, he already beat him. He already beat him. Why is he doing this? He already beat him. Guess what? It's not going to matter because after he beats him, what's he going to do? Who's going to pay money? The guy already had 2 fights in between. And no one came out to see him. So if he gets his head knocked off, what happens? When he gets his head knocked off, what does he do? He can't go fight at home. He has no license. He can't send no tickets here without the proper dance partner. The only dance partner that matters is Deontay Wilder. And after he kills him, what's he going to do? Fight AJ here? The AJ fight don't make sense anymore. What's he going to do? Fight Andy Ruiz? No one cares. He's done.
Because Bob still owns the 2 fights.
Salute to Kenneth Johnson in that super chat. Great panel today. Thank you for showing up. And salute to my brother Amawan Yasharala. He said, y'all letting Buddy McGurk off the hook. Am I missing something? What Buddy do? What Buddy do? Yeah, let me know in the chat what Buddy did. I don't know what he did. But
Buddy McGurk made some comments about D's boxing ability. And he gave him a chance in the third fight, but he says that he favors Fury because he thinks that D doesn't practice the basics of boxing enough that it would make a difference in the fight. But he's one of those guys that's making comments like that because they're trying to stay what they think aligned with, and what we've been discussing the entire show. It's like, hey, man, we don't need those kind of people. We don't need them.
I'm sorry. You know what I noticed? I noticed a lot of these people in the industry. I'm gonna have. By the way, I'm not gonna be on at 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'm gonna be on a little later. I got something I gotta do, and I gotta call Uncle KQKC tomorrow. I'm gonna be going on like 1 o'clock tomorrow. I got Jeremy Williams and Mark on their podcast. It's called oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. It's called Champ and the Chump. And I had them on before, so they're coming back. And a lot of the people that are in the industry, they're just not up to speed on what's happening. They're just looking at the results, and they see the fight, and they don't factor in anything that we say or the information that's available, and they're just going off of what they see in fast time, and they're not factoring in what they saw. They're not factoring in why things look the way they look.
All the more reason to dismiss them. All the more reason to dismiss them, because when someone asks me something that I don't know about, I tell them, I say, hey, I'm not versed on that. Let me have to look into it and, get back to you or whatever. But it's called ignorance. And when a person is displaying ignorance, there's no need to take it much further with them until they decide to become versed or educated on said subject. Otherwise, get to stepping. See, this is why, for me, it's become very convenient to explain it very simply. When you were asking just a moment ago, well, what did Buddy do? And I kind of gave an explanation of the interview he gave and everything, which is right along the lines of other people like Mike Tyson. Listen, let me say this about Mike Tyson, because y'all know, like, I like to go in on him, right? But I'm just going to say this very simply and succinctly. Listen, why would you pay attention to this man who has shown you more bipolar tendencies, and he's doped out all the time now and everything? So why should what he says have much credence? And they've given him everything from cartoons to podcasts and everything, because that's what they want representing us out there. Don't you understand that? That's negative. The diatribe that comes with what comes with him is a negative element. And when you tap into that, you pick up that energy. I don't have time for that foolishness. You understand? That's why I don't watch his shows. I don't listen to his sound bites. I don't have nothing to do with that foolishness, because that's exactly what it is. Okay? And I'm speaking with a clear mind. He's never spoken with a clear mind.
He was America's favorite train wreck.
Objective word there, because we question if there's something there. So it's like, listen, you got to know your beans from your cornbread. Okay? Do you fill your plate full of stuff that you don't eat? Hell no.
Nope.
So why are you guys tapping into these sources of negativity? You understand? Tap into that as positive. When we talk about the champ, this is somebody, again, who has a energy and a synergy around him that's special. There's not a lot of that in the world today. You understand? This man ain't been caught somewhere in the police blotter with some other person's wife and all of this other stuff. This man has lived a upright manner, and he has represented himself and his family well. And they've done everything they can to try to tear him down. So I really don't care what these people are saying about him. I don't care I do care what was done to him, which is why I ride for him like that, because what they did to him, they do it to us.
That's right.
All of us. And how many of you want to be out there and be the one that's being the traitorous person like Andre Ward and Tim Bradley and the rest of those scum buckets out there that's out there tap dancing for the establishment? To hell with the establishment. You tear the establishment down and ain't nobody got nothing, and you build over.
Hold on, Stormy. I know Tay got a boogie. He heading to camp, man.
Yeah.
Last words, brother.
Yeah, man. For to get back down this road, head to camp. We got a big sparring week in front of us, so about to get ready to get on this road. You know what I'm saying? And keep fine-tuning things.
No doubt. Real quick, that addition that y'all were adding to the camp, that surprise, is that person there already? I'm asking who it is. I'm just saying, is he there yet?
Yeah, he down. He gonna be down this week.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Salute the tape, bro.
Yeah.
Ooh. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
For sure, bro. Y'all have a good evening.
Is it
Big
Big
Joe,
Joe?
Brody.
Take care, bro.
All
Make
right.
sure Champ watch those tapes too, man.
Yeah. Like I told you last time when Drew sent me those names, I sent them over to Malik. So yeah, for sure. They definitely checked them out. And I actually think Malik was actually watching one of those already. So yeah, for sure.
Great
Yes.
stuff. Great stuff.
What's up?
Yes, sir.
All right, Tay, I'll holler at you, brother.
Safe travels, bro.
Y'all take it easy. Yes, sir.
Can't wait. Oh my God, this is gonna be insane.
It's gonna be so. Yo, Scotty.
I'm here. What's up?
Yo, man. Wait, real quick. All right, this is a great question. I want to go around the panel real quick about this. He said, this is Willie Beacham, the brother. He said, how do y'all score Wilder versus Fury 1? I want to start with Scotty. How'd you score that one?
Wilder versus Fury 1. I gave it about 7.5, to be honest.
Yeah.
Around 7.5. Because I don't think Deontay Wilder just won the rounds he knocked Fury down in. I think he may have won. He did win a round after that. They was close rounds, but that's the way I had it.
Right. I here's how I looked at it. Everyone says it's some people that are trying to be fair. They said it's split. I didn't see that. I had, if I remember, I don't know. Let me scroll up, brother. Did I see your post? I don't know. I see your post. I don't know. Let me find it. We'll put it again if I missed it. Put it again, family, if I missed it. Yeah, I had it. Did I have it? I had it 7-5, right? But see, the thing is, even if it was a draw, Wilder scored 2 damn knockdowns. So 2 of those rounds was 10-8. How the hell does Fury even get a draw?
He didn't even swing in the first 4 rounds.
He didn't.
He didn't. He threw 13 punches in 4 rounds. 13.
And that's what I'm saying. Them swing rounds was close.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I scored it like Scotty did. I scored it 7-5. Even without the knockout. Anybody with common sense would say it was a KO victory. But I say that even without the KO, he still won 7-5. He got robbed on both ends. He got robbed of a knockout and he got robbed of a 7-5 victory. Go back and watch the fight and count the punches landed. Don't count the Fury running around the ring, throwing his hands up in the air, looking like a monkey.
You don't score points like that.
No, look at the punches he landed in the first 4 rounds. He didn't throw any fucking punches. Wilder was the one throwing pop shots. Wilder was the one stunting around the ring. He had the ring generalship. He had the effective aggression. He did everything right. Wilder did everything he was supposed to do in that first fight. He was the only thing about Wilder. He was overzealous for a knockout. That was the only discrepancy I could see. He was overzealous because he was trying to get a knockout. Just notice on the second half of the fight that he slowed down and he was watching and calculated where he was punching. That's when he dropped him the first time in the 5th round that Jack Reese waved off as a slip. And then he dropped him again in the 9th round. Then he dropped him in the daggone 12th.
Even Jack Reese, salute to the brother Keith James. Jack Reese even thought Wilder won.
Thank you. Enough said.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, this last part doesn't come with instruction.
This is crazy. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy, man. But the biggest mistake was allowing this to drag out as long as they did. What Fury should have done, he should have told Bob Arum, listen, I want to get this out the way, man. I want to get this out the way. You know what I mean? Because what happened was they gave Wilder enough time to heal. Remember when Malik said Wilder hasn't been healthy in God knows how long? They're giving this man enough time to heal. And scary stuff, I will admit, I haven't seen the way he's hitting that bag and hitting those pads. I was like, oh, man. And honestly, I haven't seen him do that. So the switch, like I said, the universe don't lie. Things happen for a reason. This needed to happen. And try and follow me on this. We needed to notice that he got cheated because of the first fight. If we don't catch it in the second fight, we don't go back and see it in the first fight. Charles Martin said that after the first fight. You know what I'm saying? He said it after the first fight. Right over, I didn't even see that. So then after the second fight, we went back and caught it in the first fight. So that had to happen. So now everyone says, well, I don't know about the cheating, but everybody's checking gloves now. Everybody's checking their water now. I'm telling you what's happening. Everyone's bringing their own water. This changed the sport. See, this is what you call making the block hot. And it's not going to, like how 9/11 changed everything in my city. Trust me, if y'all come to New York, there are things that I could point out that weren't there before. I'll be like, yo, you see that? You see that barricade? After September 11th, that went up the next month. You used to be able to go like down at one police plaza. You used to be able to drive your car down there and park in Chinatown and walk up all up in there and get right to the door. Nope. They got blocks barricaded. You got to walk all around, show 3 forms of ID. Y'all remember the classic Running Man with Total Recall when Arnold Schwarzenegger was walking through the airport and you were able to see the whole scan of the human skeleton, and damn near got that at one police plaza. That was not there before. 9/11. Tyson Fury versus Wilder 2 is the 9/11 of boxing. I coined it. No one can steal it.
Go.
That's the 9/11 of boxing. He changed everything. He changed everything. So now everyone is heightened. So these raccoons could jump on here, on YouTube, and in old media and say, hey, man, I don't believe it. Okay. You don't believe it, Andre Ward? Why is it that you have people in your camp and in Kovalev's camp watching the hand wraps if you don't believe it? That's not just for show. That's not just for good etiquette. That's because it needs to be done. Because if it goes unchecked, your guy's going to cheat you. Ask Miguel Cotto. Ask Shane Mosley. This is real stuff we're dealing with here. This is the best thing that could have happened in the world of boxing because he made it hot. Now everyone's not going to drink water that's provided for them in the locker room. You want this water? Nope, we got our own right here. Don't worry about us. We good. Automatically, that changed. Gloves, that's going to change. It's already changed. And you ask these fighters moving forward, yo, why do you have 3 people watching hand wraps and you got your own water here and they got the locker room water, they provided you water? You know what they're going to say? Nah, man, you know, I recall Deontay Wilder saying something happened. You know, I ain't taking no chances. And by then, guess what? It's not going to be allegations. It's going to be something that actually happened. You understand? Y'all going to get everything y'all asking for. Y'all tried to avoid this arbitration. Y'all tried to ignore it. This man lied to you. Y'all tried to ignore it, and it happened. You tried to cheat. It didn't work. You didn't get away with it. You think you did. You didn't. We caught it. You tried to get out of this fight. Didn't happen. Y'all thought you had one foot in Saudi Arabia. Didn't happen. Meanwhile, these guys are running around lying to you, and when you lost the arbitration, why y'all mad at us? I don't know. We wasn't in the arbitration. All we did was ask, did he win? You dig? So now that y'all have lost that, y'all ready to take that other L? You know how many people hit me up? Scotty, how many people hit you up and was talking about, hey, man, Wilder's not fighting. Wilder's not fighting Fury. Go have fun with Charles Martin. Aha, we're going to Saudi Arabia. Salute the phenomenal Mexican in that super chat. He said, no more Breland. Both over here, F crackhead Fury. No doubt. That's my brother, phenomenal Mexican. Scotty, how many people were telling you that we were wrong about the arbitration going in Deontay's favor?
Man, there was so many because Eddie Hearn, he puppetized the freaking audience, man. He sent that false advertisement out there. And it was a lot of people dropping emails and you know, acting like the career of Deontay Wilder was now over. You know what I'm saying? If he didn't get this title rematch, it was pretty much over. He was going to be fighting Charles Martin, Dillian Whites, you know, and every other up-and-coming heavyweight. But that's not the case, man, because behind the scenes, Tay was telling me. He said, man, don't believe that shit. Don't believe it.
See? Every time someone's, I'm telling you, if I saved every email, I screenshot a lot of them. Enjoy Charles Martin. They were like obsessed with, low-key obsessed with Charles Martin. Enjoy Charles Martin while we go down and have 2 fights with real champions from the UK. But funny, y'all can't fight in the UK, not because it's not open, but because one of these guys don't have a license to fight over there. Now, interestingly enough, why doesn't ESPN cover the fact that he doesn't have a goddamn license to fight in his own country? Why don't they say anything about that? Is that by design? I think so. I think so. So before we go any further with that, they don't even want to address that. They don't even want to address, by the time ESPN says it, they say, oh, he took a 2-year hiatus from the sport. Don't candy coat it. It wasn't a hiatus from the sport by choice. It wasn't because of depression. It's because they kicked his ass out of the sport for cheating. And he don't have a license right now in his own country for cheating. This is all facts. I'm not lying. Am I lying? You could be mad at me for sharing it, but it's a fact. Just like once upon a time, the #1 light heavyweight in the world was Sergey Kovalev. You think I like that? But it was a fact. I could not like it all I want. Remember when I was saying, yo, look, man, if Fury's going to fight AJ, they just need to get this out the way so I can talk about it. I talk boxing here. Is he winning the arbitration? Because y'all keep trolling me, talking about, yo, man, the fight's happened in Saudi Arabia. Y'all trolled me up until 24 hours before the ruling. I saved a lot of screenshots on Instagram. It's like everyone, my account is private, but they wait for me to comment on Marcellus or Malik Scott or Deontay's post to troll me. I don't know what he's hitting pads for because he's not fighting. Great pad work for Charles Martin. Oh, he's not about to fight Fury. All of these things that y'all said to me. And I went right back that Monday and I said, your thoughts. Blocked. Let me tell you something. I could be a real mean troll if I want. And I might get it. I just might, for 48 hours, open up a Twitter on Sunday morning on the 25th.
Oh my God, I'm getting banned from Twitter. I'm getting banned. I'm
gonna get banned the first day, and I'm not gonna care. I'll close it in 2 days.
As soon as that body hits the ground, I'm behaving ignorant. I'm marking down channels that I'm
going. I'm going live from the fight. I'm going live. Show my ass. I'm gonna try to find all of y'all. I'm gonna try to find as many of my brothers I can, and I'm gonna go fucking live, and I'm gonna act I'm gonna be swagged the fuck out now. No, don't get me wrong, but we're gonna act completely ignorant as fuck on this live stream. I'm telling y'all, these people are gonna get this work.
Yo, salute to Pete Davenport back in that super chat. He said, I'm bringing up old ish. Pluck Mike Tyson 2, Jamal Robinson again. I'm real Brooklyn 2, selling out for the ops. F both Tysons. No doubt, man.
Facts.
Y'all remember Mike Tyson once upon a time was America's favorite train wreck. Y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He still is.
He was, every time Mike was in the news, Robin Gibbons, it was funny. You know, facing off with Lennox Lewis, he said he bit me. It was all fun and games. Going to prison, they laughed at him. And now they're looking at him for a boxing conversation. Now he's the hottest thing because he talks reckless about Deontay. Hey, you guys, you Negroes with the knee pads, be careful of who is rooting for you. Charlos, those 1,000 new followers you got on your social media, those are the same guys telling you that you had no shot beating Charlo or Benavidez or Triple G, but they loved you because of what you said about your brother. Think about that. And now you said something else. You got shooters. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Who raised these niggas?
Hey, Drew, check this out. You got film of this too. Remember when Pacquiao lost to what's his name over there in Australia? What's the guy's name?
See, exactly. What's his name?
But anyway, Tim Bradley, who was calling the fight with Teddy Atlas. You remember Teddy Atlas patting him on the head like a dog in the post-fight? You know, patting him on the head like a dog. Then after that, when Lomachenko fought, Teddy Atlas ringside with Andre Ward and Bud Crawford. Remember, he told them, "Hey, you guys are okay, but he's the #1 pound for pound guy." And they stood there like two Sambos and didn't defend themselves. I'll never forget that. You Sambo sellout. You know what I want to say, and it's on tape. It's on tape. So Andre Ward, this message is for you out there, sucker. Your daddy white, but you ain't. And you know what? They're going to continue to disrespect you and disrespect Tim Bradley, and you guys will continue to be bootlickers. And guess what? When Deontay knocked this sucker out, we coming for y'all too.
Yup, it's not over. And we're going to stab you. You can call me out my name all you want. I'm just going to judo it.
Give power to my nigger sword!
I'm going to stab you. I'm going to stab you with it.
Give power.
Then let him taste the fury of my nigger sword!
Y'all gonna catch
get
it.
these videos from, man?
In closing, I'm gonna play a video every time Fury heard Deontay's name.
That man gonna have a conniption, bro.
14 months that motherfucker was doing that. Now he's putting on the best acting job you could ever see. 24th is coming, bro. You play games if you want. Play games if you want, but dig this in, man.
Your judgment day has come.
It's a wrap for you. My brother Scotty, World Combat Sports. Let them know how they can find you.
Yeah, y'all can follow me on all social media, World Combat Sports, man. You know, mostly on IG and YouTube. But you know what it is, man. Support the brothers that's on the panel.
Yes.
Appreciate Drew having me on. Appreciate chopping it up with Stormy B. I am here, Will. I haven't met the brothers, thefocusballs.com. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, appreciate the time, man. And y'all keep on cooking. And we definitely going to be heavy out there next month on the 24th in Vegas.
No doubt, Scotty. You on the gram. I'm gonna hit you up on the gram. I'm gonna slide you my number.
For sure, man. Take out my number too, yeah.
All right, no doubt, family. Stormy, the sensei. Let them know how they can. Oh yeah, Scotty, put your link in the chat, please. Stormy, let them know how they can find you. I see you, Mark.
Yeah, everybody know you can find me right here on YouTube, man. Stormy B Man is the channel. And hey, man, this is the countdown to destruction. I kicked it off on Friday. We're going to keep it going until the 24th of July. And then after that, it's going to be a celebration. So, you know, y'all know where to come when you want to hear the real. So that's what it is.
There it is. My brother, Focus Ball, healer of mind, body, and coach. Let them know how they can find you, bro.
Hey, I'll just put my link in the chat. But it's your boy Healer, the mind body coach. If you want to take your mind and body to the next level, head over to my channel and learn something. That's the classroom. Salute to the mighty Ldbc. Salute to everybody on the panel. We're gonna be in there on the 24th. Liddy and the titty, you done know. Peace.
No diggity doubt. My brother, I am Ill Will in the building. Let them know how they can find you.
Bomb Squad! Woo! Y'all already know, man. Y'all find me right here on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter. I am Ill Will is the handle. Y'all already know what time it is and how we get down and how we rock. But I'll tell y'all what, July 24th can't come fast enough for the kid. I'm going to be there to see a body drop, and I can't wait. And I'm going to be there with my brothers, and Tay Brown's going to get her birthday wish, and she's going to get to see a decapitation live on TV. Don't worry. We're going to be there. And Tyson Fury, 24. That's the number you need to remember when you go see the Reaper. Remember that.
It just dawned on me, and shout out to Snacks B. That's his son's birthday, the 25th. It just dawned on me. That countdown that I have in front of my show, that's from 24. This motherfucker, Eddie Hearn as Jack Sauer.
Well,
he had 24 hours to get it done, and he failed. Yo, Yo, I'm telling you, it's all lining up. It just dawned on me.
The universe is a funny place.
It's so funny, man. It's so funny. But I'm getting a request right now. Let me do this. Shout out to you.
Give power to my nigger sword! Then let him taste the fury of my nigger sword!
Where the fuck did you find that shit? I'm hurt by that.
Classic.
I am so hurt by that. Wow.
Y'all don't know where that's from?
I'm trying to remember the cartoon.
Yo, y'all don't know where that's from?
I'm trying to remember the cartoon. Taste
Y'all
the
don't
power of my nigger sword.
Y'all don't remember Thunder the Barbarian?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember it.
Yo, I remember hearing that. My mom's was like, she turned around. She was like, did he just? I was like, nah. She said, what channel is this? He's not saying nigga. He's saying mega. But I swear to God. I swear to God, man.
That dude
When
said
I first heard that when I
niggas.
was a kid, I was like, wait a minute.
Give power to my nigger sword!
Nigga sword, bro.
He said nigga, man.
He said nigga. You slid that in on us. You slid that
I
in on
didn't
us.
hear no M in there nowhere.
Oh shit, they snuck it in on us, bro. Oh god,
he said it twice.
Snuck it in on us,
Yo.
bro.
You
Damn
see,
it, bro.
You see this motherfucker? Look what he has on. He look like a Grand Dragon, right? Look at him.
Give power to my nigger sword!
Bro, there ain't no M in that.
Hell the clam.
That ain't no M. That dude, that is an N.
That's a nigga sword. The fuck are we looking at, man? Why is it so funny to me?
Hold on, last one.
Then let him taste the fury of my nigger sword!
And over here, somebody help me out this flow.
I can't take it. Yo,
somebody come
Bronx
get
on
me.
Dick. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Move!